Hey everyone, welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast, the special retirement party for Joe the Cat episode. We'd like to thank Joe the Cat for years of unuseful, counterproductive service. Joe, good riddance. I always hated you, and I'm glad that you'll finally be out of here.
Joe even wore a festive sombrero today.
Mine doesn't work.
To make you feel better about him, and his little sombrero is not getting him any kind of sway with you at all, guys. Bye, everybody.
He looks French.
He's
like a little French.
I'm going to Pismo Beach. Look, we got him a nice collar, too. Look at this little bling collar.
He's blingy.
He's drunk already. It's a retirement party.
He's been drinking all day, though. I mean,
he's like Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon. He's like, I'm getting too old for this shit.
What voice does Joe have, you think?
What's that?
What voice does Joe have?
I think we've always done Joe's voice. Like,
just a kind of a deeper southern drawl.
He just talks. He just whoever's voice he's like.
Y'all are missing comedy gold over here, by the way.
What?
Brandon does not know how to put a party.
I knew. No. I mean, I understood, but I didn't know the proper protocol.
He's like, what are you doing with your ears?
Here. But you have it in front.
I don't have one. Give me one of those.
I actually have one behind and one in front.
I should also point out that about 30 seconds before we went live, that Brandon asked the question, can cats get rabies? Like, he didn't know.
Brandon,
I hear
what is the division? What animals can get rabies and what animals cannot get rabies?
I'm sure a bunch of them can get rabies. But you're saying it's only mammals.
I ruined it. I fucking ruined the joke.
Is that true? A lizard can't get rabies?
Yeah.
Now I'm asking questions that are not.
So
see, if you ask the question, it's okay. If Brandon asks the question, he's an idiot.
Fair enough. I'm not going to doubt that.
And sharks can't get cancer or something, right?
Sure. Also, apparently, alligators can't get AIDS. I don't know if you saw that headline.
What does that mean?
Like, they're testing alligator blood as a potential cure for HIV. I guess they realized that alligator immune systems fight the HIV virus. So they're going to use alligator blood as a potential future replacement for antibiotics.
But like raw, right? You just drink the alligator blood? Like, can you just bite it in the neck? And
you have to kill the alligator for the full effect.
Oh, okay.
The problem is, I guess there's some other component of alligator blood that kills you or like kills cells, so they have to like balance the good part of the alligator blood with the bad part of the alligator blood.
There's a dude on Reddit who talked about how every day he would inject himself, or once a week he would inject himself with venom, cobra venom.
So he becomes the most immune man to a venom.
Was this Charlie Sheen?
No, and he's overdosed like a half dozen times or something like that. And everyone on the threads, like, hey, ask me anything. And the first question was, hey, do you know that you're crazy? That you're an insane person? It was like literally like people psychoanalyzing this guy going, look, you have like dysmorphia.
Wait, how do you overdose on venom? Surely dose.
You dose? Oops, I've got venom.
I dosed.
I can
that doesn't mean I did poo, by the way.
He had a specific explanation for like that. He made a critical mistake, like he used venom
I think I know his critical mistake. Starting.
What point was the mistake? Was it the idea in his brain?
Being born.
Yeah.
There was really absolutely, and when people asked him, like, what is your basis for doing this? He had nothing. Like, he was just, I think he heard a voice that spoke to him and told him to do it. He literally said that.
I have a question. How do you get cobra venom? Like, you can't just go down to the store and get that.
I know a guy.
All of these questions and more were answered in the AMA. The guy who said, like, can I ask you why you came up with the idea to do this? He said, I had a voice that just told me to do this. And then there was some other stuff in there. But then the guy who asked him the question.
You moved your hand as a puff of fur, like appeared out.
But I'm like a wizard.
That's the reason we're glad he's leaving.
We're not glad he's leaving. We're sad he's leaving. Look how sad we are.
You don't speak for everybody here.
I'm sad.
I'm sad.
Poor Lindsay. Lindsay's the only one who changes his litter box.
So she's got to be happy that he's going. Although Lindsay's also one of his best friends in the office.
We all like him.
We're talking about Joe the cat.
Wait, so why is she the only one changing? Why wasn't anybody else help out?
Because that's women's work.
Jesus.
God.
I'll change his food. I'm not touching his poop dirt.
Poop.
I like him. I don't like him that much.
You have a scooper. You have a.
Not my dad.
What?
Like if your dad gets old, do you change?
Do your cat shit?
Take care of him.
Well, no. I have a litter box in my garage that they shit in.
Oh.
Yes.
Why don't they just shit outside?
Because they're not outdoor cats. I don't let them go outdoors.
Gus, can I ask you something?
Joe's sombrero's going away.
Don't cover your mic.
Okay. So, if someone's bit by a dog, you're like, oh shit, does that dog have rabies? We need to make sure the person doesn't get rabies. If someone bits by a bat, you're like, oh shit, this person has rabies. If someone's scratched by a cat, does that go through your head? You don't think like, does that cat have rabies?
Bitten, and a feral cat's not going to come up to you and bite you. Feral cats run
You
away
don't know.
from you.
Also, how many dogs do you see just roaming around?
You see dogs everywhere.
Well, show me a dog. Get me a
You want me
dog.
to show you a dog? Let's go walk
I
around.
get your dog by 2 p.m.
I've tried to catch like a dog, someone's loose dog on Rafael Bonito. Same thing in Houston. I got bitten by a dog.
Oh yeah, we've had numerous dogs here.
I think even Burnie's loose dog on Rafael Bonito.
Hey,
What's the cat eating?
he's eating the party hat.
He's eating the party.
Someone get the hat out of
He's not the smartest retiree.
There we go. He's just out of the
off
wide
camera.
shot. Kyle, can you? Oh, Barbara's scared off.
Oh, I thought it was his little hat that he was eating.
No.
Did he show off
there he is.
his gold watch?
I got by the little hat. Yeah, I showed him his gold bracelet that we gave him, which is around his neck, his gold collar. For years of service, Joe, we're going to miss you for everything you've done.
What's the severance package? Does he get anything?
Surprisingly, it was very difficult, the hat and the bracelet, that's it. It was really hard to find a cat-sized party hat on the internet. I would have thought that's what the internet was for, like to get cat-sized party hats.
It seems like you get a normal party hat and just cut like the tip off, right?
That was going to be our next step, was we were going to adjust the tip for Joe. But I ended up going on Etsy, and there's a store on Etsy where they have nothing but festive party hats.
You dress your
love that
dog.
that package that was sent to you, the return address has a picture of a cat in that hat. It's like what could this box? Oh, there's a cat hat in this box. I know exactly what is in here. Everything in the mail should be like that. Like, oh, dildos.
Is there any way we can get our 1040s next year to have like a picture with a cat in a hat on the return address? So I was a little happy. He's like, oh, look, taxes.
Sure,
Oh,
if
there's
you
a cat
elect
in a
him
hat.
president, sure. That'll be the next thing that we
You dress
do.
up your dog in tiny clothes, right?
Oh, it's
My
adorable.
wife does.
Yeah.
But you enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoy it. She tweeted a picture of him wearing a little bow tie outfit.
So let me ask you a question. How come you like that? How come you like when you dress your shitty little dog up in outfits, but you don't like when Joe is here and is a good pet?
I just don't like Joe being here.
Why
You
not?
saw that tuft of fur that went everywhere?
Yeah.
I can't sit on the teeth couch anymore. It's more fur than couch by this point.
It's a very comfortable couch. That is probably
It
one of the
is.
most expensive cat beds in the history of cat beds.
Yeah, he loves that thing.
Joe sits on it all the time. Can you blame him? The thing is like plush as hell.
Yeah, it's true. But he's such an asshole about it. He'll get up there and do that cat thing where he starts like scratching and trying to make himself more comfortable. It's
You know, if cats didn't do that, if cats didn't scratch shit, they'd be the perfect animal, right?
Pretty
Like,
much. Yeah.
no, I could definitely see that. I mean, cats are great, but they definitely have the tendency to scratch too much. Like that's my big fear with having Joe on the set is that he's gonna scratch up these chairs or he's gonna scratch up the couch.
He ruined Matt's chair.
He did ruin.
And he
Matt's chair.
pees everywhere. Our green screen, the fabric green screen we had to buy Brian a new softbox or whatever it was because it's pissed everywhere.
There are portions of the annex I don't go to because they smell like piss.
Like
Like that over the-
all right.
By
Joe's
wardrobe.
going home. Don't be jerks.
I'm just saying. That's why my dog can wear
You
clothes.
can teach cats not to scratch chairs and stuff, though. Like my cats,
You can teach cats to like water and walk on a leash too. I mean, what's the
say
point?
to like water. What was
Yeah,
that?
like jump in water.
Oh, I think you meant like drink it.
No.
I think cats like water already.
How did you make that logical leap?
I don't know.
You have a cat that won't drink water.
That's I was confused. Well, cats drink
My
milk.
cat only drinks fresh squeezed juices,
He likes lemonade.
organic mouse blood. You got to go to the.
You could find that in Austin, I'm sure.
I'm sure you could.
So I gotta go buy all this like cat stuff for Joe, and now I gotta figure out what exactly I want to get. They have those automated cat litter boxes.
don't work.
They don't work. They don't work at all, do they?
They don't work. No.
They get
I had-
disgusting.
I used to
Yeah.
have one that worked.
If you clean it out like 3 times a day, it'll work. But
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
point, might as well just get a normal one.
Yeah.
That is your problem. Your problem is you have had bad cats. Your cat Seamus was one of the worst cats ever.
That was a bad cat. So the problem with that cat, I'll tell you, right? I should have known from the start. This is an experience thing. I was young. I went to the animal shelter. I was like, I'm going to rescue a cat. And there was a
Aw.
cat who was like in cat jail. And he was like reaching out like this. And I was like, oh, that's cute. He's like waving or he wants to get rescued. He was trying to murder. Like the bar. I didn't realize it at first. And so I was like, oh, I want that cat. They're like, Seamus. I was like, yeah. They're like, sir, do you have any small children in your house?
that's
I
a
was
good
like,
first sign.
No. Like, okay. Because Seamus likes to play a little rough. That's not, how bad can it be? It's a cat. That cat was fucking evil. Like,
That cat was fucking evil.
no one would come
It was
over to
bad.
my apartment, and if anybody did, they would sit like this, so that
Was he like walking around with like a club or something? Like what
he would attack anything and everything. Like
Okay.
I guess his previous owners must have like really, I don't know, like attacked him because he was like
No,
super defensive.
that's not necessary for cats. Like they don't need past trauma. They just come up nasty.
What you're saying
mean.
that some cats are just plain dickheads.
Yeah. Do you know what? Now, do you know what to do? Like, do you know what to do if you run into a big cat in the wild? Like if you're in the mountains.
Do you go?
You scratch his chin.
No, you run into like a cat on a trail. like a mountain lion, do you know what to do?
You're supposed to like make yourself appear bigger, like you open your jacket and you don't turn your back to it.
Right. And then like what else? Like with a bear, you know what to do, right? If you've run into a bear.
No.
You throw
Curl up in
Gavin,
a ball, right?
you kneecap Gavin and run.
Have you heard like what to do if you run into a bear?
Well, I'm from England.
Well, you live in America now.
Yeah.
So.
There's bears everywhere in Austin.
In England, they train you what to do if you run into French people. But no, you're supposed to go to sleep, or like not go to sleep. You're supposed to act like you're dead for a bear.
There's no way in hell I would ever.
You're like, oh, there's a bear over there. Fuck that guy.
Take a shower, wash your face.
The bear's like, holy shit, this guy's a badass. He doesn't care at all.
This guy's crazy. He must be on something.
He must be getting out of here. Venom.
And then when you fall asleep, the bear cuddles up like a teddy bear,
Yeah,
and you hug it. No, but for a cat, it's the exact opposite. Is that they have to train people in areas where there's big, like mountain cats, that you do the opposite. That if you see a cat, you make a big commotion and you make yourself look bigger. And if the cat comes at you, it says in capital letters, fight. It says, you do not play dead for a cat. Cats love to fucking torture dead things.
I've never been in a proper fist fight. I've never had a guy come at me and swing. But do you just treat it the same way? Like, have you ever been in a fight?
Yeah.
What, are you gonna open your jacket to some guy into the sky?
Oh, come on, bro.
You go, and then you open your jacket up as big as you can. I would assume I would fight it the exact same way I'd fight a smaller cat. I'd just kick, like, not that I do this on a regular basis, but I would just like kick and shit at the mountain lion.
But when a guy comes at you, it's all about the first whack, right? You don't want to be punched in the face.
You always want to be the guy who whacks first.
You know, it's true. If there's going to be a fight, you want to be the person who takes the first swing. If there's for sure going to be a fight.
Yeah.
But you don't do a manly thing. You just go for like the stomach and the crotch, right?
What?
Like I'm not gonna actually have a fist fight with a person and swing at their head. Like I'm gonna try to get out of that situation.
I would say the first shot that you take, you want to clock him in the jaw and knock
you
him
want to
out.
try to knock him out.
Yeah.
I just don't think like with the kind of mobility you have in your neck.
Brandon's working the body right out of the gate. I love it.
No, you get him in the stomach.
His guard will come down.
Get them in the stomach and their wind gets taken out of them, you could run away. But like with as nimble as someone's neck is,
It's not as nimble as you think.
If you
No,
get a
no.
solid,
You're just trying to get me off. You're trying
we're talking about whack
right,
dudes
there
and
you
getting
go.
them off. I love it. No,
Off my
listen.
strategy.
Most people cannot. Most people can't take a punch, like a good solid punch. I mean, there's fighters that can because they're trained to. Most people can't.
Yeah, watch
I mean,
YouTube fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've banged my head and my mind has gone funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what happened? Makes a lot more sense.
If you're being chased by a big dog,
Have you guys ever, honestly, have you guys ever been in a fight, just out of curiosity?
yeah, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Never.
I've been on both ends of a one-punch fight, and they both like lasted the same amount of time, basically. I hit a dude and he went down, and then I tried to break up a fight, and I remember there was these two guys, and they were hitting one guy, and I got in there, pushed one guy out of the way, and then went to go help the other guy, and I saw that the guy that I was trying to help was still getting his ass kicked by the other guy, and then I remember thinking, hey, what happened to the first guy? And then I woke up in the nurse's office. Exactly how that worked. People said I just got clocked in the jaw, and I was like, then everybody stopped after I got clocked. And then I was like, hey.
Oh, you ruined the fun.
And I was like, hey, stop, cut it out, everybody. And I was like, clearly out on my feet. And then they were
You
like,
jump up and you clock the nurse. Chill out.
yeah, the next thing I know, I'm in the nurse's office. Like literally instantaneously, like that, those moments of my life were completely
So it's like
gone.
teleportation.
It would be
Pretty
funny
much.
if that happened every time. Like, whenever someone wakes up, they literally continue the last thing they were doing. So everyone in the hospital would be like,
Like, poking
No,
you
what
with
would
a
be
stick,
awesome
like,
is if, like, to make flights faster and easier, the flight attendant punches you as you get on the plane. Next thing you know, you come to, you're like in your destination city. You're like, oh, that was an easy flight.
Thank you.
But
They hire bouncers from now on.
you woke up feeling great though, because you're like you don't remember getting clocked or embarrassed.
I
You're
just
just like
not
I was
wake up
awesome.
feeling good at all. I get hit right here, like neck/jaw is where I got
right in
hit.
the off box.
Yeah, right in the right in the off button.
That's the temple, right?
That's the hard reset.
Oh, Gavin,
God,
come on.
Gavin, do you not know how to drink?
Gavin, how did you
You've had
make
alcohol
your
before.
beer foam up 20 minutes after you opened it?
I don't know.
That's pretty impressive.
Figure it out.
If you're being chased by a big dog,
Go ahead.
doesn't it make more sense instead of trying to run away because it will catch you and it will jump on your back and take you down, to charge it, to turn around and just like run in the opposite direction and use your weight to throw it off?
I don't know.
It's, how big of a dog are we
A
talking?
German Shepherd.
Does it have more momentum? It's going to have more momentum, and it's going to knock you down anyway.
Yeah, but at least you have some kind of control in the situation. Like if he's just jumping on your back, you're done. Like you have, what do you fight a dog like that?
You're gonna be the defense if a dog is coming after you in any capacity at all.
I've
Like,
played
there's
enough-
no way to get it. Like,
No,
I think you gotta
in
bait
it.
him into biting your arm and then
yeah, you gotta
him.
sacrifice a forearm in order to get a shot
If you
on.
don't give the dog the arm, what does the dog do? Like, everyone
Neck.
does that.
Goes for your throat.
your
Well,
neck.
everyone does that. Like, they give the dog their arm. Just don't do that. Like,
I think it goes for neck. Like this is to protect this.
Yeah, I
Just
think it's
rotate,
snapping
like,
at you. up.
jump at it, and then spin around and hit with your back.
I
That
played
way,
hit it with your back.
yeah.
There you go. That's,
So we
that's-
are
that's-
turning our back to the dog.
Yeah, that's the
No, but
the
you're not
best
running
solution
away
is
from
to
it.
put
You're
your
still
back towards
using
the
your own
attacker.
momentum and your own weight.
So you're running at it, and at the last second you spin around.
You spin around.
How do you hit something
How
with
does
your
that not
back?
make sense to you?
It's like, wow, but that fight was all like, I hit the shit out of me with his back.
Yeah.
Tyson was great and all, but these new backfighters of our generation,
That's like the yellow belt of karate. They just try to punch with
Everyone's chopping wood and breaking concrete.
Jumping over, like, smashing boards with their back.
It's a kid who grew up watching WWE, right?
No,
there.
it'll work. What does not make sense about that?
And if that doesn't work, you bust out a
the,
folding
yeah,
chair.
the dog's gonna have a folding chair and hit you.
Your back is incredibly sensitive. Like there's so much.
You know what's
stuff.
sensitive? Your throat.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I would argue your front's more sensitive than your back.
I don't know though.
Really?
It just seems like
My dick's on my front.
But it's easy. It's easier to protect stuff in the front. I can't block my back. You know
But
what I'm
if you
saying?
get bitten in the back, that's better than getting bit in the throat.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then the throat, yes.
So we all agree that I'm right.
No.
You
No.
said hit it with your back,
I
Brandon.
still-
Yeah. You spin around and you hit it, but with your back.
You're
So we
sacrificing your back.
I missed having you on the podcast.
That's not what I
Brandon.
said. I said you spin around and hit it with your back.
You know what, Brandon? Let me tell you
Same
something.
thing.
How many podcasts have we made?
200. This is 206.
206
206.
podcasts. In the history of the podcast, repeating something has never made it seem smarter. Ever. Just
you're not-
saying the exact same thing
I'm just-
again.
You're not
does
even
not
adding
make it more
information.
intelligent.
Just saying the same thing over and over. You're like Joel shouting DYY. Like no one understands. It doesn't matter.
You reiterate to
man.
make a point, like practice. Allen Iverson video?
Practice.
Practice.
No, but seriously, though, I don't understand why the move that everyone does is this. Like you say, that's to protect your throat. Everyone just naturally gives their arms to
But
dogs.
that's a reflex. Like, I've
Why
heard
don't you
of-
just do this?
It's
Like
pre-
turtle up.
But
I think
I've
it's
heard loud
protecting, like,
noises.
turtle
Like,
up.
You hear a loud noise and I do that, and I don't know why.
What is
I
turtle
don't.
up?
Like you turtle your neck. Like to protect your throat, you can go like that.
Yeah.
A dog's not getting to my throat if my throat doesn't
No, it
exist.
will get to your throat.
No, listen,
If
I
it's
get
running-
that. But also, I think the worst thing you could do is you have a massive height advantage on a dog. A dog can jump, yes. But it's like that first initial charge, dodge that, and then the dog's got to come back around and get you.
But you're still running at the dog. That's what I'm saying.
You know, you're running at the dog.
Yeah.
Backwards, apparently,
I
presenting your
hope.
back.
I hope one day I'm walking down the street with Brandon and a big dog starts chasing us because I'll be like, "Woof, this is easy."
no
Brandon's
problem.
gonna run right at the dog and I'll be out of there.
I'll
Then
save
turn
your
around and start
life.
running backwards towards the dog.
Brandon will immediately tear open the back of his shirt and turn around
I got this.
and
Go Hulk
attack
Hogan
with
move.
his massive back attack.
Oh, I strained my back the other day.
Oh,
I went to the doctor. And I was like, I have this massive back pain I've had. It's actually for a month. And he was like, just take some leave. I was like, I paid for this?
No.
I paid you $20.
So he.
Let
so
me
he
give
was
you
there.
advice. Between the ages of 18 and 35, as a male, don't go to the doctor. They don't want to see you. They're like, get the fuck out of here, you're fine. They'll tell you the same advice every time. Lose weight, drink less. That's it. That's the only advice they give to men between 18 and 35. And after that, they start sticking stuff in your butt. It works.
I'm like dreading the day I have to get that exam. It's like on my calendar a few years in the
You haven't had a
future.
You never had a
prostate
prostate exam?
No.
Dude.
is it 30 or 35 you're supposed to do that?
It depends on whether or not you have a history of colon cancer in your family. I will look this up and answer this
Luckily,
question.
23andMe can give me a good idea whether or not
Science says I'm
headed
fine.
that
My
way.
butthole's gonna stay
What
virgin.
do people die of in your family? What do they die of?
Old age.
Really?
Yeah, but people in my family live a long time. Like I have a lot of relatives who hit 100.
It's bad news for you, right?
Yeah, I know. It's really, really unfortunate.
I thought you had your
my
shotgun plan,
My
right?
great grandmother, I think she was 110 when she finally. No. She was like 108 when she finally
Jesus.
died. She used to tell stories about her older sisters running guns for Pancho Villa across the U.S.-Mexico border.
Badass.
That's pretty damn
Do you think
cool.
it gets really inconvenient for super old people? Like when they select their
Yes.
date of birth, it's like right at the bottom of the list. They have to scroll.
That's
to the
probably a relatively new
Yeah.
thing.
What's going to be your story when you're 110? Like she ran,
He's
what was-
before the internet.
But that's going to be cool to people. Like you're going to tell that story. Oh, it was there before the internet. They're going to be like, ooh.
Be like, I'm number
Yeah.
one on Rock Band. What's up?
That's it.
While you're looking that up, I'm going to read this here for you. So I want to remind everyone that this episode of the podcast is brought to you by I don't know what happened, but I think I heard a scream from the control room.
It wasn't a scream. It was a
It's because the thing.
So
The green screen was up.
Yeah,
it's
all right.
carbonite. CARBONITE.
Dude, I could have used that shit. Did you hear what happened to me? So
It says all your data is backed up. It's safe from dogs.
yeah, that's true.
They put a big inflatable back around the file.
So I was trying. I have an external hard drive that I move around. Like I put.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I haven't heard this yet.
It's
Oh,
great.
you haven't? Okay, so I have
great.
I have an external hard drive that I literally, I'll move it from the office. If I have like work up here, I can move files onto it, take it home, work at home, whatever. And so I brought it home, and I was going to I was going to clear it out because I had some stuff I want to put on it. So I hit the drive on my Mac Finder, and then you just hit Apple A, control or Apple Delete or whatever, Control Delete, and just empty trash, and then realized I just erased one of my internal hard drives. It was my archive drive, which had files in it from like 7-8 years ago, like old video projects.
My God.
Had all of my music, had like tons of my photos.
We're trying the process of organizing your music too?
Yeah, that was good. So I remember as it was erasing, the first thing that struck me as like something's wrong with this was it was erasing 49,000 files. And I was like, that's
something is
good.
amiss
And
here.
then immediately, as soon as it finished, I was like, oh my God. So I erased, I thought it was 800 gigs worth of stuff. It was 1.7 terabytes worth of stuff that I erased.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And that was a nightmare.
Isn't it crazy that an individual could have 1.7 terabytes of data?
Or more.
I have more.
Yeah, no, I know.
He certainly has more.
But like video footage and all that.
So, I mean, ultimately I found a recovery program that I was able to get a lot of it back. But the problem is now, it like when you erase something, there's like a table that has all the names of your files.
Yeah.
And that table gets erased and it's just gone. And
File
so-
allocation table.
Yeah, and so once that thing is gone, when it recovered all these files, like it recovered all my stuff, it'd be like MP3 001, MP3 002, photo JPEG 001. So nothing is labeled. There's no directory tree anymore.
And I guess you can't sort by date anymore.
No, because it's all recovered from the same exact time.
It's a little different.
And not only that, but when we capture video, we capture in our codec is photo JPEG.
Yeah.
And basically that is basically a container file that just has a bunch of photos. Yeah, so that container file broke. So all of my photo JPEG captures are now just giant, like this is JPEGs. It's
Really?
just thousands of JPEGs to make
realize it
one
went like
movie
that.
file.
Holy
So
crap.
like those are all trash.
But no, you don't have to do that.
QuickTime.
Yeah, just open them all in QuickTime. It's
Well, I mean, but the audio, the sync to them is all gone too, and so it's just a huge pain in the
Well,
ass.
when
This is
you-
old stuff, so I mean, losing that wasn't the worst thing in the
Personal
world.
stuff, though.
A lot of personal stuff, yeah.
Wow.
And also, from what I can tell, I think any file over 2 gigs you can't recover, or it doesn't recover properly. Or something
Yeah,
like
you just
that.
mess up your file system, it sounds like.
Yeah,
I mean,
so it's
across
just
the board.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of the worst nights I've had in a long
There
time.
is-
I did it and just like immediately just like sank in my chair and was like, fucking.
There's a significantly
Bad.
small portion of your hard drive that if you lose that part, your whole hard drive is screwed. It's basically like the table of contents.
Yeah.
Not even that. It's like start here. This is the block to start where data starts, and like everything else is relative based on that. Just because you often when you save like a 2 gig file, you don't have a continuous block of 2 gig
all
free.
random.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all
it's
over the place.
fragmented.
It's
You
just
have like
pointers.
a pointer file that says this here, this here, this here.
Yeah,
But
I think
anyway.
that's at least when I was a computer science student getting my degree. That's the way it worked. It probably works entirely differently now.
So I don't recommend erasing an entire drive worth of stuff. That is a very bad day.
I don't think you need to tell me and Gus about that. Me and Gus are so paranoid about data. Like, I will call Gus into my office, and I'll say, what's up? And I will have disk utility open. And I'll say, I'm formatting a hard drive. I'm initializing a drive. I go, I'm initializing this drive, which I am identifying is that drive right there. Is that correct? Gus won't even miss a beat. He will go, why are you bothering me with this? Gus goes, that is correct. That is that drive. And like, we'll sit there and go, okay, click.
But still, it makes me nervous because I'm like, he's calling me in here, so if he fucks up, it's my fault. It's like, there's no winning for me.
And you will
It's
never
like,
hear the end of
I
it.
will only be the asshole in this
Just
situation.
deflects blame onto you.
The other day, you performed hard drive surgery.
I did, man. I was so proud of that, too. I'm picking a hair out of the air.
There was Burnie brought a hard drive in that when it was an internal drive that when it was plugged in, it wouldn't even spin up, nothing. It's acted like it was dead. Then he did some crazy Google searches and found out that sometimes drives get over voltaged and there's like a little capacitor that burns out.
on the board, on the PCB, on the hard drive.
So he opened up the drive and cut out that little chip from the PCB board and then put it all back together. And then the hard drive started working again.
Wow.
Yeah.
ridiculous.
The crazy thing I learned about it too is that the little, I guess, little circuit board that controls the hard drive. It's about this big on a normal size hard drive, and on like a SATA, this one was. That thing's not even screwed on there. That thing's like held in place by just like the outside case. There was no like screws that bolt out to that. And so I got, what are they called, flush cut snippers. And then I went through and I went down to Home Depot and got them, cut this little resistor off at this one point, and then it worked again. The problem is now the drive is not reliable because it doesn't have that overvolt protection. It's this one little resistor that it burns out to protect the drive, but nobody knows that, so they toss the drive out. Yeah. Basically. Yeah, but hardwired onto the circuit board.
And the weird thing was we had another drive that was almost identical to that one that we were going to throw away anyway. It was in my office, so we brought it out and looked at it and compared it, and Bernie practiced on that one to make sure we knew what we were doing.
I was so goddamn proud of myself.
Like your cadaver?
So what's that?
Is that what it's called? Like fake body that you practice on, or dead body?
Cadaver?
Yeah. We did our practice surgery first and then did it. I'd say, too, it was my girlfriend's drive because she moved from Australia. And so it got overvolted because they have 220 down there. And so we just put the wrong voltage on it, I guess, when we were setting the stuff back up. It zapped it. I felt responsible for it, so I was going to fix this thing. So I was super proud of the fact that I fixed this drive. She didn't care at all.
It's more impressive if you opened a jar. A jar of hard drives.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I was impressed. I was like, oh wow, Bernie looked all this shit up.
But did you blow him that night?
I was like, man, my pants are a little tight now.
Just a little.
Just a little. So did you ever find out when men are supposed to get a finger stuck up their butt?
Yeah, so it says you're supposed to get told by your doctor, but apparently 40 is what, according to Yahoo Answers, 40 is the age when you should get a colonoscopy, or earlier if you have a history.
40, all right.
Some are saying 52, at the age of 50.
What if you look 40?
That seems a lot old. That's a lot older than I thought it was. I thought it was 30 or 35.
No, 40 sounds right to me.
No, if you got a history of it in your family.
Nope, 40's fine.
I wish it was 50.
So you don't want a doctor to pop a finger
I don't want
up
anything up my butt.
It's lubed. It's not like it's gonna...
It doesn't matter.
Now, you're talking about a prostate exam.
Yeah.
That is different than a colonoscopy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Prostate exam's the finger. Or
I think it's two.
yeah,
Is it two?
Yeah.
No,
it's
not.
one.
Because his eyes got super big on
Yahoo, answer it.
It's like...
Wait.
Let's see what Google autocompletes when I type in how many fingers.
No, put it up.
No, we don't want to put that online. Oh, God. All right. Okay, it says how many fingers, what is...
It is so stupid. I typed in how many fingers.
Good God.
What does it
I
say?
typed in how many fingers, and it auto-completed. This is the #1 search for how many fingers. How many fingers does a person have?
How many fingers does a person have?
How many fingers does a person have?
Wow.
God, internet, you are so dumb. How many fingers can you fit? And then that doesn't say anything.
Well, there you go.
And how many fingers do cats? How many fingers do cats have?
How many fingers can you fit if you put a space at the end of it? What does that autocomplete?
Yeah.
How many fingers does a person have? Why is that the #1 search for fingers? All right.
So what's the answer?
How many fingers in a prostate? How many fingers?
Be careful here. The safe search on or
I even
off?
looked up. I said, how many fingers in the autocomplete is how many fingers in a human hand? What is wrong with you? How many fingers in a prostate exam? Oh, surprisingly, this has never been asked before on Google. What to expect from a prostate exam?
Oh, God.
1 finger, Brandon. So calm down.
Index.
You must have paid extra.
No, he was really aggressive.
We just watched a clip from An Idiot Abroad, the Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, Carl Pilkington show. And I guess the end of one of the seasons, Carl Pilkington actually got his prostate checked while Stephen Merchant and Ricky Gervais were sitting there listening in on headphones and watching a video of him doing it. It was like 6 minutes long. It's some of the funniest damn thing ever. It's great. So.
I've got the prostate checked. That's a normal thing, a part of like a normal physical. Well,
Really?
a pretty extensive one.
That's what I'm thinking. When does that start?
The prostate exam
Yes.
thing? I got that in my 20s, man.
Really?
Yeah. So I would do a dude, though. I used to go to a general practitioner who was an old military doctor. Fuck, don't do that. That guy was like,
No.
he was way too involved with my junk. Hernias and all that stuff. You ever met anybody who had a hernia anymore?
My father had a hernia.
Yeah, well, it's like an old dude thing, like Brandon with a bad back. I don't know people who have bad backs anymore. That's like a dude from the 50s. Comes home from work with a bad back
I
and gets a
strained
hernia.
it. I was working out.
You were?
Pumping iron.
But not.
Did you
because
really? Did you hurt your back doing bench press? Is that what you did?
Probably, because when you get to the last few, you just like use your back. Use your back to finish it.
It's bad form.
Yeah, but I got it done.
Apparently, and then you're in the doctor's office.
Yeah.
You gotta have a strong back for fighting dogs. What were you gonna say, Gavin?
Well, the prostate is an area of it arouses you, right?
Yeah.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Did it feel good?
No.
No?
You having something, even a finger stuck in my butt did not feel good.
Did he get you in the mood?
I have to admit.
Did he put on some music and
Nothing.
ask you how your day
No, that's
was?
actually apparently what Gavin is saying. I think that you can get somebody off by massaging the prostate, which of course is something
We've
that
all seen Road Trip. We
only
know this.
exists in the male. So
Wait, what?
yeah, there's no prostate in women.
Oh, really?
No prostate.
That's why
gland.
they don't get prostate exams.
That's why they don't get prostate cancer either.
Fair play.
There you go. Did you see that video? I think I saw it last week on YouTube of the guy who's in a single-engine propeller plane, and the carburetor freezes.
What?
Oh, God.
He's like a passenger. They're somewhere over Utah, and the carburetor freezes, and so they begin an uncontrolled descent. And so he busts out his iPhone and starts recording video. He's in the plane with the pilot, his wife, his mother-in-law, and their baby.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
This woman's like, I'm sure everything's gonna be fine. And the pilot's like, we need to find a field or something. We got to put this thing down.
Wow.
Uncontrolled descent is such a, calm way to
Yeah, he was
describe
crashing.
like crashing.
And then like when they hit the ground,
You're gonna die.
you see like the camera flies out of his hand, and then when they finally get it again and like get out of the plane, it's upside down and it's like all fucked up, but they all got out of it okay. He's like, see, I told you we'd be fine. I was like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. You had nothing to do with this.
Good God.
He's like, and he goes to the pilot, sorry about your plane, man. And the pilot's just like, what?
I love people walking away from massive disasters like that. Like there's that clip of the big truck crashing and the guy actually comes flying through the windscreen.
Yeah,
and he
the
just
window. Oh,
he
right.
kind of grabs it as he's cartwheeling over and just lands, and he literally just walks off. He's like, oh, jeez. That was a close one.
Have you ever been in like a car accident or something where you're in shock afterwards? You're just like, what the hell just happened to me?
Are most people?
Well, I mean, some people
You're
like
gonna crash a car and you're like, oh wow.
well, I mean,
I knew a dude who was getting a pizza. He was walking to the pizza place, and he saw a car come around a corner, hit a curb, and roll and skid on its roof. And the woman inside was just screaming. And he went over and tried to help her out. But he realized as he was running over, he ripped his shirt off. And he was like, why did I do that? And he was just there topless, like with this woman.
Who did this?
One of my friends in England.
Really?
Yeah. It was just like Superman. So he's like, oh, there's nothing there.
Well, did he get her out?
Yeah, he got
So
out.
then, yeah.
did he flip the car over himself or anything
No.
cool like that? No.
No.
One time
It's
when
just
I
a
was
heroic thing.
when I was going to college, we had gone to the liquor store that was like kind of down the road from where I went to school, and we were driving back to university, and it's kind of a major street in Houston, and we got to the light. The light was red. Obviously, we were waiting to make a left turn. Light turned green. The car in front of us didn't go, and then the light turned red again. We're like, what the fuck? The light turned green. The car didn't go again. And it turned red. We're like, okay, something's wrong. So we got out of the car, walked up to the car in front of us, and it was an SUV. It was like a Ford Expedition or something. And there was like this tiny blonde woman at the wheel, drunk, passed out. Like the car was still in drive, but her foot was on the brake.
Oh,
And she was
Jesus.
just like,
Wow, she's lucky.
yeah, she was just like asleep, slumped over. So it's like, well, we have to get her off the road. So it's like, we had to push this woman out of the way from the driver's seat. But then as we pushed her, her foot came off the brake. So the car starts going to the intersection. So we're like chasing after her
Oh my
to jump
God.
in. And then we like pulled it into like a gas station that was there at the intersection. And then like as we park it and turned it off, she like kind of stirred. She's like, what's going on? We're like, you got to get a cab or something later.
Yeah, Jesus
So we called her a
Christ.
cab and put her in it.
I think
Gave
it's,
her her keys.
in Austin, there was this woman who had a heart attack while she was driving on a highway. So the car was just kind of swerving, and this kid was driving a pickup, went in front of her, and then just kind of like put on his brakes and slowed down her car just by stopping. It's a lot of balls.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel
that's a hell of a quick
get
reaction
out of
time.
here.
Is there a way that I can send a video to the screen so we can take a look at it?
You can pull it up on this.
Yeah.
I just gotta manually pull it up.
Yeah.
Look out, passed out redlining car on YouTube. This is a dude I remember from a stadium where he was drunk after a football game, gets in his car,
Oh,
turns it. That's it, right top.
yeah.
I gotta say something real quick.
This one right. Oh, shit.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Is this
So
it?
he passed out with his foot on the gas, but the car's in park, and he's just
Jesus.
redlining his own car in park. We'll post this in the link dump for people listening to the audio podcast.
And for the
So
people
his
watching on the video,
car's
there we
just
go.
like smoking.
So wait, what's this guy doing? Is he passed out?
So
He's passed out drunk, and he's got his foot on the accelerator.
So you can hear the engine is like
Yeah.
Oh, like he's in
redlining
neutral
that
or
car.
He's playing park.
Yeah.
Oh God.
he's gonna gas himself.
He's like going 8,000.
This guy's like,
Yeah, like all right. Well, God, that engine, that poor engine. E-Bombs World. God, that's an old website. I've
God,
heard of that.
how much
know it's an
damage do you
earthquake
think
at
you
the
did to that car?
I don't know.
Ruined it.
I like that you can tell it's an older video because it's 4.3.
Like going up to the guy looking in the window. Accelerator.
You wearing a Philly shirt? Says I'm in Philadelphia, I'm guessing.
I think they sell Philly shirts other places rather than.
Well,
just
but no, if it's
Philadelphia.
at a game or something, I figured this could be
an
afterwards.
embargo.
Could be an away game.
Dude, you're fucking blowing up your car, man.
Dude, you're fucking blowing up your car.
God, I feel for that dude, man. He probably did about like $5,000 damage to his car.
Wow.
Oh my God!
He's sitting there smoking.
God, that engine is gone. Is he still out? Yeah, he's still out.
Done.
Well, I'm sure you had a good time.
He'll have no fucking idea. He will wake up and wonder what the fuck happened.
He's like you getting knocked out. He'll
Yeah.
wake up.
They should put him in the
He'll
passenger
wake up in
seat.
hospital like this.
Poor bastard, dude.
God,
I
it's
mean-
crazy.
It's hard to feel sorry for somebody who gets in a car that drunk, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you do reach a point too where it's like you just can't make good decisions when you're drunk enough, you know?
Yeah, it's tough.
We went to an after party after the Streamies, which I guess I should talk about too. And I did something I haven't done in years where like everyone was happy and celebrating, and a bunch of people did tequila shots. They gave me a tequila shot, and I did it.
Game over.
No,
Yeah, you're
normally I was smart. I got lucky this time, and it wasn't game over. Usually, if I have a night where I get so drunk and make a fool of myself, and I can't remember what happened, usually the last thing that I remember is taking a shot. That's
Yeah.
usually like the last.
Yeah,
thing.
the last memory is the feeling of a glass and the ceiling, and you know it's bad. Like
Yep.
you were just tipping your head back
Yep.
for that shot of tequila.
and then it's gone.
Or awesome.
And then you wake up the next morning.
My body knows. It
So,
gives-
but that didn't happen this time.
No, it didn't happen this time. It was okay this time. Because we moved from place to place a bunch of times. We started off with there was a Streamies had an official after party. Then we went to there's all these digital studios now that I don't think most people even know exist online. Like there's I guess the one that's most associated with us is Machinima. They're a big network, but then
Right.
there's a bunch of other ones like Maker and the Collective and a bunch of other big ones. And they're like studios, and they threw these parties after the Streamies. So we kind of went from one to the next and had a good time.
You said Maker, and it made me think about this. We've been talking with the company that makes those Maker bots, those 3D printers. I don't know if you've seen them.
We talked about this on the podcast last time about Barbara's great idea of what to do with our 3D printer.
Yeah, well, we confirmed today they're coming to RTX. They're going to bring a few units with them to demo.
Sweet.
And,
That's cool.
Units.
and they're gonna. So as a result, we're going to have one or two of those printers here at the office.
Nice.
Why? Look at the grin on your face, dude. It's just like you guys are gonna be just devious with those things.
Well, we have to learn how to model a dick in Maya first, and then we can print
learn
it.
how to mod. Dude, you ever been on the internet? You can download a model of a dick
I'll download a dick.
that you can import into Maya.
You want to download a car?
So yeah, I'm really. I got to see those printers in action at when I went to DICE. So I'm really excited to get one here so we can print some stuff up.
There's a 3D model that was just made, and I'll wait to reveal till we get it printed out. But I don't know if you've seen it in the back.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That's
We should
going to be a
definitely
winner.
print that.
That's going to be a winner.
Yeah, but it's
Nice vague conversation there.
So we were looking up before we started the podcast. I was showing JJ some videos of this 3D printer in action, and one of the related videos on YouTube. We didn't click on it, so I don't know if it's legit or not. But one of the related videos in the YouTube was how to print a real working 3D gun. Oh look, there's a 3D dick model.
For first search, model of penis,
Do you want to stream that?
human penis. There you go.
Barbara, does
Censored.
this pass your quality check?
There you go.
No.
I think Barb,
Not great.
she's great.
It's too flaccid for Barbara.
Not enough veins. Sorry, we didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's it.
So-
They'll be there, and we're gonna have some in
Is
the
it
office.
true that there's some PS4 news happening?
Tomorrow.
Some what?
PS4.
Oh yeah.
Or
We're-
today if you're listening to the audio podcast.
Right. Yeah. On Wednesday, I think at 5 p.m. Central Time.
I might do this one. I might do PS4.
You might.
Yeah. If they change the controller to
Well,
something
have you seen
decent,
It's the same
have you seen the
controller.
concept?
no.
It's the same controller, but with like a touchscreen. How the Vita has the touch.
It's a touchpad.
The
Yeah.
touchpad stuff on the back. Now it's got it on the front.
So it's the same like dopey.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. not
What
good.
makes you want to go to the PS4 if you didn't care for the PS3? Like, what's different?
The rumor is that it will launch later this year. I think they said October or November.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But We'll find out for certain.
We're due for new consoles.
PS3 launched in 2006, so by this fall it'll only be, I guess, 7 years old. Yeah.
I thought they were 10-year cycles. is
That's
were
what they
going
said.
for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
but 10 years as opposed to what were they before?
They were like 5, if that.
If that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Xbox was
Xbox
2001.
3,
Yeah.
yeah, 4, yeah.
Well, what about Nintendo? Like Nintendo Super Nintendo? Like what was that launch?
Well, that's a different world, dude.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Like 88 and then 94, or 86 and 94.
I think the Nintendo was 88.
I think Super Nintendo was 92. I thought.
It used to be back then. Consoles would come out with such massive release gaps between countries.
Yeah.
I think it came out. The Super Nintendo came out in Japan almost 2 years before it came out in Europe.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine it just like waiting 2 years for the console? Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I got annoyed when Halo 2 came out one day before in America than it did in England. I was like,
well, I mean, this might be good. So, this might be a good thing for Xbox, the next generation Xbox. Then, I mean,
I would assume they're going to be head to head.
Yeah, I can't imagine Microsoft allowing PlayStation to get a year jump on them. So
yeah,
it's happened in the past.
Yeah, the
I guess
PS2
so.
came out a year before the original Xbox, but then the 360 came out a year before the PS3.
No.
To illustrate this,
Really?
Super
Yeah.
Nintendo, Japanese release date for Super Nintendo was November 21st, 1990. North America was August 23rd, 91. Europe was April 11th, 92. And then Australia was July 3rd, 1992. So it came out almost 2 years in Australia, 2 years after it came out in Japan. Which is crazy because Australia's right there next to Japan.
So they must have been.
Are they the same region for DVD encoding? Or are they their own?
I think they're separate.
Yeah.
Region
Is there still
4
region?
is Australia.
Is there still region encoding for Blu-rays?
Yes, but they have letters now instead of numbers.
Okay.
Would you consider the Super Nintendo to be a very successful console?
I think so.
Yes.
How many units do you think it sold?
It's gonna be low. It's gonna be a lot lower.
40
than I
million.
think.
How many?
Yeah, okay. You want to guess?
41 million.
50 million. 49 million.
I think the Nintendos were all winners until the GameCube, right? I mean, the GameCube really.
Let's look it up.
They got its butt kicked
Speaking
by
of bad
the-
controllers, that was like a.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, the word-
awkward.
the
It
word
had that,
trident.
like all the different buttons that were different shapes.
Yeah.
Like that bean button.
That was a 10-year cycle. Super Nintendo to GameCube. That was 10 years.
But Nintendo 64.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. I forgot about that one.
What one was the NES?
It was
so
85?
was Nintendo? Hold on a second. I'll look this
What was
up.
it?
No, it wasn't that long. It was 86, I think.
Really?
In the U.S. at least, right? So
Yeah.
we're saying the NES, the release date was July 15th, 1983 in Japan.
Okay.
Wow.
America was October of 85. So it was like 6 years on that one. So, pretty
right.
typical.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. I'm ready to see the next generation consoles. I'm really curious to see how they're going to incorporate more online aspects. Like, I mean, Xbox Live this generation has been amazing.
Yeah.
And the idea of doing, like, I heard, actually, of all places, I heard on Fox News, they were talking about the PS4 announcement. Like, I was driving around and I heard on the radio and I was like, what, really? That they're talking about this? And they were saying that it's going to stream PS3 games.
I've
Like,
heard
where you can
that.
actually like buy a game and stream it and play it. Like, maybe not even have a
When you
physical
say
copy.
stream, you say.
Well, it's like OnLive was doing
Yeah,
that.
that's what
where
I'm
you
thinking.
could buy a game and then just start playing it right away.
Did that work out?
Not for them.
But you know, that's kind of interesting. That's sort of if that's going to be their solution for backwards compatibility, that's interesting.
That's not necessarily a solution. You still need hardware to decode and to play the title.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not taking old games, you're not putting old media in and trying to redo it. You know.
Yeah, but I mean that's no different at all, Jack. It still has to run the same software.
What is
From the hardware perspective, there's no difference as to whether the machine receives physical media or a streamed piece of data.
but then how does OnLive work?
It just streams it. The session is created remotely, I believe.
Okay, so
and then
what-
run remotely.
How do we not know that's what it's going to be for the PS3?
I see. I'm
or
an
the
idiot.
PS4.
Well, my
Jack just fucking destroyed me right there on the podcast.
Yeah, what's up?
My PS3 has
I'm good for one of
hardware
those a year.
compatibility that they took away.
Yeah.
It has the PS2 chip in it.
walk
I've
it
got
off.
that too.
I'm
The emotion
done.
engine.
humble.
Yeah.
Let's take it
and then
off
they
and walk.
fucked everyone else.
Yeah, I've got that.
What's the best-selling console of all time?
PS2,
How many units sold?
180 million.
I thought it was 130.
153 million,
Wow.
according to Wikipedia.
What does the Xbox 360 have now?
70. The Xbox 360 has outsold the Nintendo Entertainment System
Wow.
worldwide. I would not have thought that was the case.
Well,
In fact, the NES is like, I thought Nintendo would probably have the lead on everybody just from, I mean, every mother in America calls every video game system the Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of the brand for what means video game console. But no, it's like everything else has pretty much outsold the NES.
Well, the funny thing is that doesn't necessarily guarantee success. Like you think about Xerox machines. How Xerox
nothing
became
exists
like,
anymore,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
it became the term for photocopying stuff, and Xerox doesn't do shit.
Band-Aids though, still number one. What was I going to say? I completely forgot what I was about to talk about.
Well, I wanted
PlayStation
to-
being sold 153 million units.
Yeah, no, okay, so isn't it something like the last 25 months the Xbox 360 has outsold every other console?
Yeah.
The last 25 months in a row?
Yeah.
Like, that's impressive. And I'm really having trouble seeing Sony making up that.
If they
I
get an
mean-
early launch and have a good
Yeah, but you would have said the same exact thing with the PS2 versus the Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, the PS2 had a huge lead over the original Xbox.
And the PS2's life cycle was more, it didn't end when the PS3 came out. It was at least 2 years.
I think they just stopped production of PS2s like within the last 6 months.
Honestly, the PS2 may have hurt the PS3. Like, the PS2 was so popular, it may have hurt the actual,
Yeah, God of War 2 came out, like, I think when the PS2 was ending.
Yeah.
Like a major release while it was still winding down.
You know, what really got hurt by its popularity was the Wii. The Wii sold 99 million units. It's the best-selling Nintendo console, the Wii. Because everybody owns one.
Yeah.
No one plays it.
No one plays them.
Yep.
They just sit there gathering dust. It's going to kill that fucking Wii U, and the Wii U is a great console. It's tremendously fun.
Gavin and I were talking about this earlier. Are there any games with a head-to-head aspect like New Super Mario Brothers had on the DS?
Yeah. Mario Brothers on head-to-head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Wii U, you can play a cooperative mode, but you don't have to play so cooperative. Because you can, like, when someone's playing on the controller traditional Mario style, you can sit there with the Wii U pad and just add, like, areas, like, platforms for them to jump up. Like, you can
That's originally what I thought Forge was going to be in Halo 3. Like, when they did the first announcement of Forge, there were people fighting, and then people would drop them tanks and
You
guns
can totally
and stuff.
fight, though.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, though. You know what confused me by that was the budget that you have in Forge. Because they assigned, a dollar value to it because that made
That
sense
was
to
always
people.
weird to me.
But it's like, every video game comes with a budget, like a resource budget, that they can't do things because, like, oh, we can't draw the distance to infinity because we just don't have the budget to do that with the way the game is built in the engine. So I guess the way they associate that was actually making a budget, a dollar budget in Forge.
That's interesting.
Do you guys watch the Destiny stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Looks awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
I forgot the style that Bungie has. Like, Halo 4 came out, awesome game. But then in this trailer, I just got all these weird Halo 3 kind of feelings, like the style that Bungie does, that showing all these symbols and patterns, and then
Even the music.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I remember this.
Well, their
This is really-
Vidocs in general, too, are, like, very specific to them.
And then you see all the familiar faces from
Yeah.
the old ones. I'm really excited about it. And we don't really know what it is, though.
They
What format it is.
they gave
it's
quite a
just-
bit of information, I thought.
It's just like a first-person shooter,
Yeah.
except in a giant world.
It's
like
a persistent world, living world is what they said.
Yes.
And the one thing I found really, really interesting is the fact that, like I mentioned this in AWU, is that they didn't announce what platforms it was going to be on.
You can pre-order it on the 360 and PS3.
Okay, but does that necessarily mean it's true,
Linked
though?
from the Bungie website.
Okay, but also it's not coming out this year, which is kind of surprising. So,
Which
I don't
means
know.
if there is a PS4 coming out, it'd be...
It'd be on the older console.
Well, it is tough
Well, they
now.
also talked about how they wanted this to have a 10-year cycle
yeah.
and move forward. So you
So it's
think
kind
that
of
would
like, well,
transcend
Does that mean the universe, though, or does that mean the title?
they're talking
the
about
universe?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Kotaku did a breakdown. Like, apparently they went through their contract. Like, they went through their contract with Activision.
Right.
They were actually pulling parts and like talking about sort of like not add-on packs, but basically what would be like the sequels that are all still going to be in the same game, almost like World of Warcraft, where the world still exists, but things change and they kind of alter things around, in the game. So I'm really curious to see how it's going to work out. I know Microsoft has been very anti-MMO for their consoles. So this is kind of, and I'm curious to see how, like, if it's going to be two separate worlds where there's the PlayStation people over here and the Microsoft or the Xbox people over here, or if it's all going to be one big.
I'm sure it'll be
thing.
separated. Like the user bases will be so big, it won't really matter about mixing.
Who knows? I mean, we
well, why not integrate them?
yeah, be kind of cool. That'd be fun just to be like, the Xbox versus the PS guys, like having those battles. Like, all right,
I think the whole Xbox versus PlayStation thing is just, it's irrelevant anymore. Like, they're both making shitloads of money, like hand over fist. It's like, who sells more consoles? They're both just doing crazy amounts. As opposed to, like, if you look at the previous generations where I think it was much more contingent on how many units were sold.
I think the reason people argue is not like number of consoles sold; it's quality of titles and first-party development.
But
Now the quality of services offered, too, is a
Yes.
big deal. And also, like, the way in which they release those services. Microsoft has a policy of paid services. Like, Xbox Live you have to pay for, but you don't have to pay for the PlayStation Net. I mean, you can look at, like, it's interesting to see in a massive market how those two services have done. Like, the PlayStation Network has been kind of like this non-stop nightmare, in my opinion, with, like, the hacks and all that stuff and just, like, the inconsistent experience that you have on it.
but it's free.
But it's free.
Some of the rumors are that with the PS4 they're going to migrate to a paid platform like Xbox Live Gold.
Really?
Yeah, I believe what I read was they're going to call it PlayStation World, instead of PlayStation Plus, and that it'll be like live, where you have to pay a yearly fee for it.
That being said, the fact that Xbox seems to have so much paid DLC on it too, it's like it's a double-edged sword. I like the fact that developers can continue to support the game and they continue to develop the game afterwards. But then also, it's like everything has DLC now, and not every game should have DLC. I hate to say it, you know what I mean? It's like some games I just want to play at launch and play for a month, and then that's it. And I don't want to come back later and play like 6 months later, play new characters.
Well, a lot of games don't suit that.
What?
I can't go back to Mass Effect after having not played it. That's why I never play Mass Effect DLC.
You know, you never played any of it.
Come back and I had no idea how to play this game anymore. I played it solidly for probably a week and then didn't play it for 6 months.
I absolutely did. When I recently got back into the DLC, I picked it up and it was like 2 minutes of what? Then it was I was right back into it.
I guess I gave up really quickly.
Yeah.
You think it would start to be a part of DLC is like an orientation part again, of like just getting people back of how to play again. That's a common thing everybody runs into. That like when I get DLC, I have to relearn the game.
Yeah, but why not just start a new fresh game from the beginning, to relearn the controls, be like, all right, fuck it, and then just jump back into the DLC.
Grand Theft Auto, when they did
because
I don't want another
restart a Mass Effect game.
Yeah,
I don't want another fucking tutorial.
Yeah,
but
even like what was
like starting college over again.
What was the first DLC or the first big DLC for Grand Theft Auto 4? The Angels and the Damned or something?
Lost in the Damned.
Lost in the Damned.
Yeah,
they had that because it was a whole motorcycle thing, and they kind of re-taught you how to drive motorcycles, and they added some new mechanics there. And that's basically what we were talking about. It's kind of getting you back into
to drive in GTA.
Well, no, it's kind of getting reattuned to the world.
I think we mentioned this before too. A game that does that really well, that just like it assumes you haven't played in a little while, and it kind of like gets you back in. Borderlands does that really well.
Yeah.
Like Borderlands tells you what you're working on. Like here's the quest you're on, and it like rereads the quest to you and starts you over when you log back in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You know, because it doesn't know how long you've been gone essentially.
Let me ask you this: doesn't it seem like the era of third-party exclusivity is over?
Third-party exclusivity.
Like you have games that are made by Sony, like a ton of games, and those are exclusive to the PlayStation. But if you look at the PS2 and how many games were exclusive to the PS2 that weren't owned by Sony,
Like what?
it was a ton.
Give me one example.
The Metal Gear franchise.
Metal Gear's not owned by Sony?
Konami.
No.
That's Konami.
Okay.
I mean, there's a ton. Like, this is just like.
That's not the case.
Well, I was just thinking
That's what I'm
Twisted
saying,
Metal.
like,
What's Twisted Metal?
Twisted Metal is, I think, the Sony Online Entertainment did
Is
that
it
one.
Sony?
Yeah, it's
think so.
astronomical if you look at the list of PS2 exclusives, but now everybody's making for all the consoles.
Well, I think
so it's like the level of difference between the consoles isn't so much game related as it is the experience.
I think it's more that,
it's all the same.
as a publisher, it doesn't make sense to release something for one console.
No.
anymore.
Right.
People are getting out of it now.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's smart.
And
I'm just saying.
a lot of times they ask for so much money now for exclusivity that it's really just kind of an acquisition thing at that point.
Yeah.
Where
I'm
they
going to
just
make
buy
a
the
prediction.
studio.
Apple will win. Apple will win this battle.
Apple's the number one console.
Yeah.
I mean, really, honestly. I mean, it's like if you look at the iPhone,
Well,
they've outsold everything.
Yeah.
We joked about this way back in the Drunk Gamers Days. I don't know if you remember. We joked about the Apple console being called the iPhone.
The iPhone.
And it was just a sphere.
That
is what he
floated in
said.
midair?
Yeah.
And you play with the iPhone.
And that was the iPhone. It was like the Apple console.
Well, I think Apple's going to be the one who kills cable TV. If they can eventually make that deal with cable providers,
I don't.
I don't
then
know
they
about
integrate that into the Apple TV and your iPhone.
That's a
like-
big if, man. Cable providers are very protective of their.
Yeah, but I mean, they said the same thing with network TV when cable came out. They're like, cable's never going to mess with network TV. And
network TV's
Yeah, but
still
you
around.
can't, don't forget,
but if you look at the level of difference between what cable's
the
taking
amount,
versus
the
network.
infrastructure that's built in the ground to get this data to houses and get all this bandwidth there, that's not going anywhere, Brandon. I mean, it's not. I mean, we can build wireless networks and things like that, but it's like the fact that most people don't yet have a smartphone that they can go in their house and their house is pre-wired. I mean, it's going to be hard to topple that.
Yeah, but that same network still provides you internet. I mean, it's just the way that you it doesn't matter if you get it through a cable, a coaxial cable, or I mean, that's still how you get cable internet.
Yeah, well,
it's just the level of integration into your life, which is different than if you have a
the
cable
cable company
box.
goes away, what incentive do they have to continue to provide you cable internet?
Are you talking about now? When you talking about cable network, like a cable studio, like
they could
let's
still
say
provide.
Sci-Fi.
They could still
No,
provide.
you're talking about cable providers. Like,
You're talking about like Time Warner's
you're
going to
right.
go away.
Yeah, I guess Time Warner wouldn't go. Well, they'd have to find a way to make more money off the internet for them to exist.
Well, listen,
So
I
they
think
can't control.
I
yeah,
thought that
makes
battle was
sense.
going to come with Netflix, really, because if you look at how much money cable companies make, like Time Warner, Comcast, how much they make on video on demand services, it was a big part of. Even though I don't know anybody who fucking watches video on demand, but apparently it's a huge cash cow for them. And they're watching those revenues drop, and on the other side, they're watching their expenses go up on the internet side because everyone's just choking down bandwidth. And like, what are they doing? Oh, it's Netflix. And they're Netflix building our video on demand service basically for free, but on our network and charging everyone for it. That's the view of the cable companies. They're like, this is our network.
Yeah.
Well, your network.
Do you think like citywide Wi-Fi could replace the need for that infrastructure?
Why the
Houston
fuck?
almost did it, but Earthlink I think went.
We voted down in Austin all the time too. Why in the fuck does Austin not have free Wi-Fi in the airport, Gus?
There's 30 minutes
You
free.
get 30 minutes free now.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, Boingo does 30 minutes free Wi-Fi.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so
It's way behind the times.
Here's a question for you. If you buy a new house, like a house that's built, I wish Adam was here, we could ask him. Do they still run phone lines in the house?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
I think they have to.
They have to. There is a portion of your bill, and it is a surprisingly significant amount of money, that is called the Universal Service Fund. And it's part of the FCC. It's part of when they established a telephone network. It basically says every house is going to have a phone line to it, and it costs the same amount to provide a phone line to any house in America. So if you live on a ranch at the top of a mountain, then you pay $60 to have your phone installed. And the difference is made up by the Universal Service Fund. It's universal service. Everyone has it. They almost did it for broadband, and it was George Bush Jr. that almost pushed that through, that universally everyone was going to have broadband by a certain amount of time.
It was part of the Telecommunications Act.
Was it?
I believe.
Yeah. But it was going to be like, I mean, seriously, it's like a ranch to install a phone line ranch might be like $12,000 to do it, but they pay $60 for installation just like everybody else.
But when Houston wanted to put the citywide Wi-Fi, they specifically wanted to isolate areas that were more low income that would be close to free. So, I mean, there's an attempt there and an ability to be able to help provide broadband to all parts of a city, regardless of like the.
But there's already broadband everywhere. You just get cable internet.
But our whole thing, though, right, is that our network here in this country, hardwired, doesn't compete with what people are doing in other countries because their networks are newer.
The network is fine. The network can scale. The network has capacity. It's companies that throttle it and choose to charge what they charge for the level of service they provide.
So you're saying they don't have a restriction. They're just choosing they're just trying to take advantage of what you need.
The network that's built to wherever you live, the network that's built to my house, we could have much faster internet.
So we could compete with South Korea.
It's just the providers who choose to throttle you to the speed you have and charge you what they charge.
Those bastards.
So you say that now, and they're going to start fucking with our stream.
Yeah, we're going to start getting downgraded.
When you poop.
Let me read this. Well, you're obviously going to derail us. This is going to be a while. Okay, I want to remind everyone this episode's also brought to you by.
So, Gavin, you were saying? When you poo.
I don't want to have that conversation now, I don't think.
No, go ahead.
Well, do you let your tip ever touch the inside of the
bowl?
The bowl.
No.
How do you stop that?
This, got to like tuck.
So you're like.
Tuck it into what, Gus?
Tuck it up against yourself.
So you're constantly tucking.
What? Sometimes, some bowls are like.
That's what I'm saying.
Shorter
I
than
recently
others.
moved, and I guess it's a tiny bowl.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
You're not constantly tucking. You just tuck once and you hold it there.
No, there's some small
constantly
bowls.
tucking.
No, constantly. I imagine you're tucking. Like you're just like.
No, you don't have it. What are you talking about?
I just rest mine on top of the ring. So instead of going down, I go up and over.
I hope you're kidding, right?
Of course he's kidding.
Jack just goes to the bathroom and throws it up over his shoulder.
All right. Take a load off.
So are you having difficulty with a small bowl?
Yeah, I'm kind of like twisting almost to find the perfect
Twisting.
angle.
You have
Go back first.
You have a round toilet bowl as opposed to an oval one, which is considered a higher. It's like a higher value toilet bowl, where they're like a luxury toilet bowl where it's longer.
And the water is quite high, and I don't know what's worse, if it hits the side of the bowl or whether it's drowning. You know, just like
drowning.
The eyes are water.
That's definitely worse.
Good God.
That's most definitely worse, I would say.
Yeah.
Water in a toilet is clean in the tank. In the bowl, not so much.
No. So I'm excited.
I got Jack's excited about something?
I got to announce last night at midnight.
Why does it need an announcement?
Because it was supposed to be a surprise, and someone leaked it last week. But anyway,
how come nobody communicated this, that it was supposed to be a big fucking announcement?
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to.
It's not like you can't leak. It's like it leaked that I pissed before the podcast. It's irrelevant information.
This is a big deal for me. I'm going to Australia.
It's a big deal for you.
I'm finally going to Australia.
Jack P is going to Australia.
I'm finally going to Australia.
project.
So I'm going to Melbourne, I'm going to the Gold Coast, and I'm going to Sydney. So
Gold Coast is a casino.
Melbourne,
resort
Gold
area.
Coast, and Sydney?
yeah. Like in between them, I'm going to jump around. I'm going to bounce around and see friends and stuff. So I will be drinking all over Australia, and it's going to be awesome.
Drink some James Bogue.
So I'll be at Supernova in Melbourne first, and then Gold Coast. Me and Barbara Eden and Alicia Dushku are going to be there.
Oh, she was
Eliza?
I think it's Alicia, right?
Elijah
Dushku. Anyway, and a bunch of other really cool people. So.
Surprised you don't want to wait for the press to get here before you made that announcement.
Yeah, was the announcement made in Japan 2 years before it was made here? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, I'm very, very excited, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're in Australia, I will gladly drink with you. It'll be good times. And I want to pet a koala.
Yeah, get chlamydia.
You can get chlamydia with the One Direction guys. So that's my announcement. Thank you.
Okay, well,
I'll be retiring
we're all
from the
very
podcast
excited.
now.
Everyone in Australia is very excited.
I can tell.
Now it's one less running joke that the audience can bring up.
There you
Thank
go.
God. That is actually a helpful thing. Our audience's ability to go with running jokes is fucking amazing.
I wouldn't even call them jokes. Recurring themes.
I have no idea. Yeah, just repeating.
It's so
stuff.
funny.
Yeah, just repeating stuff over and over again.
Headlight fluid.
I want to point out we were nominated at the Streamies for Best Series Overall Audience Choice and Best Animated Series for Red vs. Blue.
And we won both of them.
Editing for Red versus Blue as well.
And editing for Red vs. Blue as well. That was one of the ones they announced beforehand that we didn't win. They announced it before the ceremony. But we didn't win for Best Animated Series. We lost to Tom Hanks. Apparently has a animated series, which I was not aware of.
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
You ever watched it? Electric City?
I have no idea he made one.
Yeah, it's on Yahoo. But it's like, when you're up against Tom Hanks, not to sound bitter or anything like that.
Was he there to accept the award?
No, he did not show up. In fact, the guy who got up and accepted the award on his behalf was kind of douchey and was like, Tom won't even know what this award is, and that kind of stuff. It's
Nice.
like, well, thanks, dude.
That's awesome.
Was it Chaz Hanks, his son, his rapping son?
Oh, no. It was not his rapping son. So, and then we source fed the Phil DeFranco original channel. They won for best series audience choice award, which I think we can clearly blame on our audience, right? I mean, we can be like that.
Absolutely. They're too busy telling you honey doesn't spoil.
Well, look, I mean, it's like, look, guys, you could have done better and won an award, but you didn't. You SourceFed clearly is a better audience.
So we are streaming video of J.J. Abrams being interviewed.
So better luck next time, audience, at winning an award, but you didn't win this time.
We were going to ship everybody a copy of the award, too.
What's that?
We had it all planned. We're going to ship everybody who voted.
Yeah, it's only like, $200 a copy for the trophies we were going to make, however many people voted for it. I would like to see the final numbers, though, like a real poll, like an internet poll, and see how it broke down. But Hannah won for best comedic performance.
She gave us a shout out too.
Yeah,
and
she's
shout
awesome.
out to you.
She's awesome. And Grace won for best personality of the year for the internet.
I think it's a lot easier to win awards when you're just one person.
When you're just one person.
Yeah.
Okay.
As opposed to a
company
full of people winning.
The Streamy Awards in particular for internet awards have a problem in that they tend to go to TV people or movie people who kind of slum it in internet stuff. Like, that's definitely the approach. They just have a history of that. I don't know why. Like, the first year they ever existed, they gave Zach Galifianakis like 8 awards. He wasn't there to get any of them. Like, just didn't even bother to show up.
Like Between Two Ferns or something?
Yeah, the Between Two Ferns, and like they honored Isabella Rossellini. Isabella Rossellini, is that her name? Mm-hmm. She did the IKEA show. I got that backwards.
Oh.
It's not her.
No.
It's someone whose name sounds like Isabella Rossellini.
I forgot about that IKEA show.
Mm-hmm.
They had a couple of the people from NCIS presenting too, right? They brought in some television personalities.
Well, Chris Hardwick hosted the Streamies, right?
Man, he was funny. He had a really funny opening monologue. He was talking about.
It's a popular show.
He was talking about the way the internet works, and he was talking about how he was watching the Meteor footage, and it had like 4 million likes. By the way, I want to point out the fact that the Meteor footage was caught by what? Russian dash cam. I told you.
That when it happened, Major Nelson tweeted, so what, does everyone in Russia have like dash cams? And a bunch of people tweeted at him, yes, this was discussed in the Rooster Teeth podcast.
Like what, a year ago?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that nobody has yet made a movie that's just footage from Russian dash cams, and that's it. It's like a narrative movie like a Blair Witch.
That's actually going to be Wrecked 4, I think, is what they're going to do.
Yeah, like they rebuild an apocalypse.
Paranormal Activity 7. It's going to be done with Russian dash cams.
Ileana Douglas. That's what it is.
Right.
Yeah, so I was happy that Hannah won because she actually beat Kristen Bell in her category.
Wow.
Like Kristen Bell was nominated for best comedic performance, and I gotta say, it's like I voted for these things too. I mean, there's a lot of web content out there. it's easy to gravitate towards names you know, and like just watch those. You know what I mean? It's like, especially if it's not a category that you work in, like best dramatic series. I just tend not to vote when I get to that category because I don't watch dramatic web series, and I would just go, oh, I know these people and I know this show. I'll just vote for that. You know what I mean? Or I have to watch. It depends on the voting body for the different awards, but there's one in particular organization where it's like $35 to enter your show, so a ton of people enter, and there will be a category of like best comedy on the internet. There will literally be 200 entries to watch, and they're all like 7 to 10 minutes each.
With ads.
What?
With ads.
Yeah, with sometimes with ads on top of them too. Yeah, it's just like it seems like an impossibility.
You mentioned that Chris Hardwick hosted the Streamies. He also hosted the Dice Awards when I was out there in Vegas. That guy is a professional.
He's awesome.
Because when he came out for the Dice Awards, I swear, it was one of the most disinterested audiences I've ever seen.
Really? We've talked about that before, too. Developers are a shitty audience.
Yeah, he was making jokes and talking and nothing. He was getting nothing back. And if that was me up there, I don't know what I'd do. I'd run away and hide.
The show must go on.
Yeah, but he kept with it, and then he eventually the audience warmed up and
win him over.
Yeah, he won him over. But I was like, man, that was. And he talked to us after the award show. I was like, you really held it together out there. I don't know how you did that. Like I would be so scared up on stage like that.
For the audience.
Yeah, it was. Well,
he's
really
also
rough.
a touring stand-up comic too. So I mean, he does that for a living.
He's been doing it a long time. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He was really funny. He had a great joke during the Streamies monologue, which was that he watched the Meteor footage the other day, and it had like 4 million views, and it had 50,000 likes and like 780 like dislikes. It's like, who the fuck dislikes Meteor footage? What is it? What statement are you trying to make by disliking the Meteor?
So like, this isn't as good as 9/11.
Wow! Right there.
Jesus Christ.
It was like somebody with a terrestrial bias was like, rocks from space. No, get out.
No.
Like rocks
They're taking the footage from our Earth rocks.
So there's no footage of the meteor hitting anything, right?
No, those people are dead. I mean, seriously.
They've shown, like, you can see the building.
It hit that zinc plant.
Yeah,
right?
just a giant ass hole in the roof.
It's a big cutout.
But it's like, I mean, there's no cameras pointed at that.
Most of the aliens are trying to set back our zinc production. Why?
Most of it exploded, though, above the city, right?
Yeah, or like in the atmosphere.
But still, there was a huge impact. I mean.
Yeah, they say that part of it hit that zinc plant. I think another part, they speculate, went into this frozen lake. And I know they were like sending divers into the frozen lake to recover.
Would you even bother, if it was coming right at you, would you even bother running?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where would you go? Which way?
So would you. Well, you wouldn't know, Gavin. You would see the fireball and run from it.
It might be small enough to where it's not a big deal by the time it hits the ground. Like, there's that story about, I think it was a woman who was taking a nap in her house one time, and a meteorite fell through her house and hit her while she was napping, and she woke up and there was a rock on her.
How big was it?
It was like this big, like a baseball.
Wow, and it slowed down enough?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of force.
Yeah, because I think it hit her roof, like went through the second story of her house, and then came into the first story and like went through that floor.
Maybe you're telling the story wrong. Maybe it hit her back.
And she was fine.
She was totally fine. She had one hand over her throat.
But it's like you're asleep, and you're like, it's like you get punched like, what? Yeah. You're like, this rock just came from space.
Damn kids. Just like,
It's like Meteor Man. You watching that?
No.
It was good.
Well, you know, the impact of it too, the damage that it does, doesn't necessarily have to be from the rock hitting stuff.
Was the shockwave?
Yeah.
Shockwave, or even exploding in the atmosphere too. Like the, I don't know if the bombs that went off in Hiroshima, the ones that have actually been detonated, but nuclear bombs don't hit the ground.
No, those detonated above the city.
They detonate above the earth, and then the shock, because it's more of a shockwave to make like that. If you hit like here, then the shockwave just builds like that, and the buildings block it.
I think also when they do an aerial detonation like that, the fallout spreads further.
God.
Yeah.
Who are the people who come up with that? Who like go, well, it would be better if we detonated the nuclear bomb at 1,000 feet.
The people right under it, they get killed by the light. It just makes a shadow of them on where they were.
Well, that happened.
Like Pompeii.
Wait a second.
He's right.
They get killed by the light. Really?
It's really bright. It goes right through them.
Well, it's also like,
Gavin, you're never happier than when you're completely wrong about something, are you? What do you mean the light? You mean the heat or the light? You're saying the light. The light is what kills them. They get lighted to death?
Well,
they get burned.
If there's a bright enough light, it will do you in, won't it?
You know how bright the sun is?
Yeah, have you heard
miles away.
Have you heard the phrase "deer in the headlights"? It's the same thing, right?
Those deer are dead long before. Everyone knows you never actually hit a live deer, you hit a corpse. That hasn't fallen over yet. That's the way it works.
They're people fucking retard. I'm pretty sure.
How could light kill you? Explain to me how light, like, you're saying brightness, right? That's what you mean by light.
Be careful, because someone on the internet is going to find some dumb way.
Well,
Okay, well, you know how
He's not saying heat, though. He's saying light.
I know.
if you shine a torch through your finger,
Go ahead.
You can see it. You can see in your hand, can't you? 'Cause it's
But you're
pink.
saying the brightness is what does it. That's what I'm reading. That's what I'm hearing by what he's saying.
Well, I thought the brightness just smeared everyone on the ground, just like, and they turned to dust.
It's because they
It's
cast
just like Halo. There's glass in
There's
the planet.
something to it though, because like
It's-
the people who are burned.
It's the heat.
It's heat.
There is a ton of heat that
But
comes with it.
light comes before heat.
Light comes before
Technically, that is correct.
There's no such thing as the speed of heat.
Heat's a specific thing. Heat's a specific thing. They got killed by the heat.
The heat and the pressure, like the shock wave.
And light comes along with it. I've never heard of something getting killed by light.
But when they're burned, like if Gavin was in a
You're saying
blast,
burn. Burn implies heat.
Yeah, but you don't get burned by the heat of the sun. You get burned by the light of the sun. Don't you? You get burned by ultraviolet light.
That's energy. You're talking about energy that comes with heat, that comes with light. You're talking about brightness. So you're saying they got cooked by a spectrum of light. By
Yeah.
a spectrum of light. It's all energy, Gab. It's all energy. But typically when you say light, you mean brightness. Like the flash, the brightness of it, not the heat of it. And then there's a force that comes with an impact of an explosion. That's an actual physical force that comes. But it's all energy. It's all energy. In fact, the people are energy as well. And that's what they're
Why are we talking about energy? What's this got to do with anything?
Well, why'd you bring up light? You're saying the light killed them. Like the light was so bright it killed them.
According to who is Mazoic, we are also dumb.
Yeah, clearly. Now, people are saying that light is a form of electromagnetic energy or something. I don't know, whatever. So, you actually, oddly enough, Gavin is getting a lot of support here into the tweets that are coming in, the RT podcast tweets.
you can see a lot of the
Someone
burns
just screamed
people have.
microwaves. So microwaves.
Clearly, microwave.
The internet's right. We said microwave.
You can see a lot of the burns people have. They're like kind of dependent on what they were wearing. Like Gavin would actually have burned stripes. Like the lighter part of his shirt would be burned more than everything else.
But that's not to do with heat, though.
I'm not saying one way.
That's
or
the
the other.
radiation.
So, how scared are you of North Korea right now?
I'm not too scared.
I'm not scared.
Did you see North Korea threaten South Korea today? They said they would
Who
basically
cares?
take them off the
They
map.
say that shit all the time.
But
it's like
all it takes is one fucking
it's
idiot
like the kid
to
who
push the
cries
button.
wolf. We need to just ignore them.
They set off a nuke.
Fuck them. Who cares?
They've already had
They
nukes,
said
though.
They've done it before.
They did it again, though.
Oh, and just ignore them.
At some point, that country is going to fail, and the last dying breath is going to be them launching a nuke somewhere.
Nah, they'll need food. I mean, they'll always need something.
Yeah.
But the head leaders of that country have food. They're okay. They don't give a shit about the people of that country.
But they have no country to rule over if everyone else is dead.
But so
Like
why not
those
watch the
people
world burn?
support their life.
So what is your fear? What is your fear?
I'm thinking that eventually North Korea is going to they're going to hit this point where they're getting too many sanctions on them. They're saying too many people are against them. No one
The
wants to support them
sanctions are
anymore.
there because they research nuclear weapons. If
I
you
know.
just stop the research,
But
the sanctions go away.
obviously that's not working though because they're still doing it.
Right, so they haven't reached that point. When they reach that point, they'll stop.
No,
the
we've already
research.
sanctioned them.
So
and
what,
they're still fucking doing
what
it.
is your concern? What will they do?
I'm thinking they're going to launch a nuke and hit something.
And hit what?
Probably South Korea.
And kill how many people?
Who knows?
A lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, that'd be the first nuke to go off in civilian territory since what, Hiroshima?
Nagasaki came after Hiroshima.
There's never been a weapon used besides the U.S. against Japanese for
Yeah,
nuclear
so I mean, this would be the
Except if you
first
consider
time.
some of these small tactical nukes now. They use them like those aren't really nukes, right?
What?
These small they had these designed
briefcase?
That sounds like Starship
small,
Troopers.
No, like
But they haven't
smaller
been
nukes.
used.
Yeah.
What?
But they haven't been used. We're talking about actual use.
Did we never use anything of any level of nuclear capability at all in the Gulf War?
Abrams tanks fire a uranium-depleted shell.
The spent uranium stuff, because
Right.
it's a harder material.
Right.
And that's got a nuclear, I guess, for footprint, for lack of a better
So
term.
I mean, I wouldn't call that.
And
a
these
nuclear,
are littered. Those shells are littered all over the desert.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that like a nuclear explosion.
Yeah, but
or a bomb.
it's kind of it's on a spectrum, right? Isn't it?
It definitely reads on on the meter.
No, I mean the spectrum of nuclear weapons. It's on the spectrum somewhere.
So sure, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, those.
those count.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no nuclear bombs or missiles.
What was the hubbub about the technical nukes that were or tactical nukes, excuse me, that were under like a megaton, but they were just like the bunker buster ones? None of those that they detonated were
I don't
nuclear.
believe so. I don't
Okay.
think they use nuclear armaments for bunker busting.
But anyway, I like the fact that we, like, so many people have already come out against North Korea and, like, reprimanded them over doing this stuff, and they're still doing it. That's not stopping them. And so at some point, they're just going to be like, well, fuck it. And it's like, all right, let's torch something.
But then they know they would be obliterated after.
Oh, yeah, they absolutely would be. But I don't think that...
His concern is they know that their lifestyle and their way of living is going to end anyway, so why not?
Yeah, so why not just take everyone down, or take as many people down with you? And
That's lunacy.
That's North Korea.
Yeah, that's North Korea. That's the thing. That's the scary thing. I don't think we are in any issue. Like, we're not in any trouble here in America.
I think the West Coast, I think Pacific Northwest could be in a...
I don't think. I think they're just now beginning to develop that capability. I think like San Francisco is just now maybe barely in their reach.
Even then, I would like to imagine that we have some sort
barely in the reach of a nuclear weapon is in the reach.
That's assuming, but that's like a high probability of a miss as well.
Yeah, but I would like to think that maybe our government has something that we don't know about to protect us from shit like that.
Yeah, let's keep thinking that. Well, if that helps you.
Have we come up with a word for that yet? That smarter people than me are working on this problem?
No.
So it must be okay.
There was something I read about that where they were talking about like stuff that is on TV now, like the stuff that the military shows is stuff that's been in the works for like 15 years, like stuff they're working on these you don't know about.
Well, things they declassify.
Exactly.
They don't declassify stuff that they're using right now.
Like the helicopters that they went and got like Osama bin Laden with.
Right.
Like those were in development at Area 51. It's like, okay, they just suddenly appeared. Now they exist in the world. And like how long had those existed?
What was the last major thing they declassified like that? The stealth bomber? Like major deal that they declassified.
Yeah, I guess a stealth bomber, where it's like they actively denied it existed, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh yeah,
here it is,"
real.
And they roll it out in front of the press. And
they
all
launch
that
theirs out of Abilene, right? Don't they have a base out there? They launch them from?
The spy plane that they lost, the unmanned spy plane in Iran, did people know about that?
Drones? Yeah, those are just drones.
But anyway, so I don't know. Like North Korea, I've seen no good come out of North Korea.
It just goes to show, eventually the proliferation of technology will kill us. It has to. I mean, it's like as technology becomes more accessible all the time. If North Korea has
a nuke, it's like Mass Effect all over again.
If North Korea has a nuke, seriously though, at some point, what level do nukes have to get to where people have them to where we will get killed by nukes? I mean, where that's just going to happen.
Well, didn't Russia sell off all of them?
What's that? No, I mean, people can create them. Like the
They
technology
don't
to
have all
make a
of theirs. They
nuke
definitely
was
sold them
impossible
off.
50 years ago. And now the theory behind it, people understand, and there's just barriers to being able to enrich.
It's still very difficult.
It's still right now. It's still very difficult, but people do it, and it's like it's always technology. It's like it's always still very.
You make
difficult.
it sound like it's a new drug that's come out. People do it. Who's just throwing together nukes?
People who want to blow up a nuke.
I think India and Pakistan both have them, right?
Yeah.
I've always said this about technology. Eventually, you have to reach a point. It would seem like you have to reach a point where you have to stop advancing technology. Otherwise, it will just destroy you because you will use it incorrectly one time. And you'll wipe out the Earth. It doesn't have to be nuclear. It doesn't have to be mechanical. It could be biological.
I think
it could be something in physics.
I think
one night you're formatting your hard drive and you delete the wrong one.
Yeah.
Except it's a much worse problem.
Yeah.
You delete your DNA.
Yeah, no, literally, I spliced the wrong gene. It's like, oh shit. Or I forgot to turn off the nanobots replication feature. And now my living room is a big gray mass of replicating nanobots, and I can't stop it.
I think the idea of not pursuing advancement in any kind of field is just not natural to people.
No, I know,
It's like,
impossible.
don't press that button. You're going to want to press it. It's like, what's the point? You want to keep pursuing technology and, like, coming up with new things.
But I'm saying eventually we will get to the point, eventually we will get to the point where there's nothing that we can do. That everyone has access to all the technology. They can mess with physics or biology or mechanicals apparatus on such a basic level that we can anybody can make a mistake and
wipe
fuck
each
up the
other
world. What?
And just wipe someone
and
out.
wipe it out. Yeah, completely wipe it out.
Like you consider like how much just having cars and how much faster they are and how much bigger they are, the amount of damage that you can do and people can do to each other, and how many deaths didn't exist.
Yeah.
It's disease. My money's on disease. Disease is going to wipe us out.
Biological is pretty scary.
Or full-blown AIDS.
It's.
But I want to point out, you guys talk about that animals or that alligators are immune to AIDS. I mean, HIV, the H in HIV is human, right? You guys realize that?
Yeah, but I mean, there are variants of it. Like there's
feline.
FIV.
Yeah, FIV. Why are you pointing at Joel? Joe. Joe's fine.
He's a cat.
But I knew somebody's cat who had FIV. And strangely enough, there's a vaccine for that. They can prevent cats from getting FIV.
So this cat's just
Who was the dude
around?
Who was the dude that cured himself of AIDS?
Magic Johnson.
He used cobra venom.
Seriously, go look that up.
Yeah, the Magic Johnson thing is pretty wild. Like, It's like I think South Park did a bit on it where he was like grinding up money and swallowing it, and that gave him the cure for AIDS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that was really it.
I don't think that was it either, but it is interesting. If you have enough money, you can you'll be okay. So.
Yeah, and the thing was that not that alligators can't get HIV, it's that alligator blood, when synthesized, can kill HIV.
You did say, though, that reptiles can't get. No, that was rabies.
Yes. We talked about a few different
That was
diseases.
rabies.
Yeah, only mammals can get
I'm only this
rabies.
guy that's injecting venom and all that. I'll about to put this in a link up for everybody.
So I've been watching Walking Dead. After stopping after the first season, or halfway through the first season, I finally picked it up and I started watching it, and I'm all caught up to now, and that show is damn good. That is a really, really awesome show.
Have you played the game yet?
Not yet. I need to play.
God, we were just talking about this before the weekend. You really got to pick it up.
There's so many games. I still have to beat Dead Space 3. Just like my free time, I go home and pass out. But like I need to beat Dead Space 3. I want to play Walking Dead.
You can get Walking Dead on iOS. You can play it while you take a dump, and you're holding your dick away from the toilet.
No, on top.
Or putting your dick on top of the toilet.
That might actually be a solution, though.
No, God no, because then how's that any different than touching me
Then
inside?
what happens if you push and then you're spraying across your bathroom?
Well, I'll wait until I'm empty of wee and then just place it on
that's
the top.
an easy solution.
Do you have an order? You always go one way before another?
You can't dump without pissing, can you?
Can you?
It's the same button.
Yeah.
It's just a bigger button.
Yeah.
Hey, new toilets in America have this thing where they have the flush button on top, and there's like an interior button.
Yeah, that's the piss flush and then the poo flush.
Which they don't make it very clear which one's which.
The tiny one is for wee-wees.
One's labeled with like one wavy line, and the one's labeled with like 3 wavy lines.
Yeah.
It's like the seashells
Or
thing.
wavy line and a piece of corn.
So the toilet I have in my house has that. It's got like a giant silver button with a smaller blue button inset.
Yeah,
So when you push the blue button, both get pushed, but when you push the silver button, only it goes down.
and it's more water comes out when you push the blue
I
button too.
cannot tell the fucking difference.
Why can't they make it big? Why can't they make it? Why
There's
can't they
not
make
a
it clear?
symbol. I looked through the manual that came with it. There's nothing.
Manual?
I've
Toilets
timed
have been the
it.
same for decades. A lever, choomp, and that's it. Now they have the button, the 2-part button. Nobody explained what that was. There was no orientation. Sesame Street didn't do an episode of it. It's just, there it is, and you have to fucking deal with
I've
it.
even used my stopwatch to time how long it takes my tank to refill.
Right.
Using the 2 different buttons, exactly the same.
Bullshit,
It's
right?
total bullshit.
So bullshit.
Were you more likely to flush big on a Wednesday or anything?
I just always hit the silver button now. It doesn't matter.
Nice. Have you ever used a bidet?
Do you have a
Yeah.
log for entries for when you use the different buttons, Gus?
No, because the buttons are always the same whether I'm drunk or not.
Spreadsheet that you use.
Dude, I've never used a bidet, and I'm like kind of scared of those things. Like, I don't get how they work.
It feels
like,
good.
You don't
Because
understand how water works.
Well, I mean, I understand how it works, but it's
when I
like
stayed at the
What'd you do?
The
You
first time I ever
squat?
used a bidet was actually at the IWTV Awards last year.
Okay.
And the room I stayed at the Aria had one. And I was like, all right, I'm a grown man. I want water up my butt. So I used it. It's really refreshing. I
what
was
do you do?
really
Do you-
skeptical of it.
Do you just squat over it or do you like...
No, you sit.
You sit in it?
No, you.
Gavin, you did this in Japan.
No, that was the toilet.
It's built into the toilet.
Oh, okay, so you're not talking about
No,
a separate
they're
bowl.
separate bidets.
Yeah, okay, but the one I used was not like a separate bidet.
Oh, so it's just a
Yeah, so I
square
sat on the toilet, and then like you hit the button, and then like this arm comes out from
Yeah.
the back in the bowl, and like it has good aim. 'Cause every time it was like,
It's like
I was
laser
it's
sights or
right
something.
on. I don't know.
Triangulates your
It was like the
butthole.
one we did in Japan where I was trying to make you stand in front of it.
He wanted me, he tried to convince me for a day and a half to stand in front of the toilet and let it spray me from the toilet bidet arm. And I was like, I'm a grown man, I'm not
And I
gonna
figured
do
it out as well because if you press the anus clean button or whatever it is, you can't do it unless it senses that you're sat down. It won't just do it. So I had to put my foot on the toilet seat and then press it and it goes like,
You got it.
and I turned it all the way up, obviously. It just goes, whoosh, it fired all the way across the room. It's like spraying up the wall. It's really powerful. You wouldn't do it though.
Okay, so
It's
yeah.
clean water, right?
No, 'cause
Yeah,
that
no.
arm is not clean.
That arm
yeah.
gets like stuff falling back on it.
But then why would you ever use it twice? Wouldn't, I mean, that,
Buy it, use it once.
Burn it.
yeah, I
like your
mean,
socks.
think about that.
So I don't
guys.
understand. Like, it's like the separate bowl bidets. I don't get those.
It's
Yeah,
the
that's
same
thing.
thing.
Well, it's like an egg shape though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just you sit on it like anything else.
So you take a crap and then you get off of that and sit down on the bidet.
Right. Back before, this is, I mean, a bidet is an older
So you like
invention.
waddle over to it, like.
See, I just
you want to get
know,
the specifics, I don't want to go
Yeah,
through all
like
that.
I'm curious. I've never used one.
Do bidets predate the use of toilet paper?
I would think so.
So
Water versus
indoor
paper?
plumbing and pressure predates toilet paper?
No, I don't. Yeah, I think toilet paper.
No, but
Maybe
then-
they just did it like
back in the day, it was probably one bowl and another bowl with like a pitcher next to it.
You eat with one hand and you wipe with the other, right?
A chamber pot. Like there's the first place in the world you still go where they don't have toilet paper. They have a pitcher of water back there.
Oh, they also have hoses. You just turn on the hose and you just like.
I think I heard a story.
Don't ever make that hooking motion that you just
recently
made
that toilet paper wasn't
disgusting.
popularized until I think the 20s or 30s.
What was popularized?
Toilet paper. Like it's still a relatively new thing.Maybe it was the 20s.
When did sliced bread come along?
It was more recent than you think.
It was right after they sold hot cakes.
I think it was the mid 30s. I think.
Were hotcakes the best-selling thing in history?
There must have been one year at the World's Fair. Guy shows up and sells hot cakes, and it was like, motherfucker, these are selling like.
These are selling really well.
The next time people showed up with donuts, it's like those sold as well as hotcakes.
And hotcakes carried out.
Is a hotcake a pancake?
Yes.
Yeah,
it is,
right?
Yeah.
It is.
Hey, so who owns the copyright symbol? Is that owned by anyone? Does someone have that
What if
copyright?
that's not copyrighted?
A copyright symbol.
What if that's not copyrighted?
Someone has it, right? It's a universal symbol.
No, look at it though. Next time you see a copyright, look at it. It's
Is there a
probably got a
tiny
little
one
one next to it.
at
That it goes, it's like infinite. It goes back as far as it can. Have you ever heard of a microdot, by the way?
Yeah, like secret agents use them.
Yeah, microdot. Like
Yeah.
people will put these in contracts too. Like a
You
microdot.
need like a big magnification to see the tiny little writing in the dot.
Yeah, like little
People put
information.
this is legal.
Yeah, like you'll send someone a postcard and it will secretly be a mission in Austria or something like that.
You need like a magnifying glass?
No, you need a
It's
way,
really
you need like a
detective.
microscope.
Oh.
And if hotcakes sell so well, why don't they keep selling them? Like why don't
Yeah,
They sell hotcakes everywhere.
they're so
Where have you ever been to a place?
You said hotcakes or pancakes. Pancakes are everywhere.
Yeah, but they don't advertise them. Like you don't go to the fair and it's like there's a hotcake vendor.
All right, let's start.
McDonald's are called hotcakes.
Let's open pre-orders on the Rooster Teeth store for hotcakes. We'll see how well they
That
do.
sells so well. That does sell better than anything else.
Let's make a hotcake shirt.
Yeah.
So what is a hotcake? It's a pancake.
Yeah, that's what he
A
said.
flat cake of thin batter fried on both sides on a griddle.
A real
That's it.
pancake, not your weird Scotch pancakes that you had in here last week.
What are you talking about? My pancakes were awesome.
Scotch pancakes?
What's a Scotch pancake?
The thing you cooked last week.
It's a griddle.
Remember, he thinks pancakes are all like crepes.
Oh, no.
How thin is it? Like how thin? Paper thin? Is that a
You
pancake?
roll them up. You roll up.
No,
a
no,
pancake.
that is
Crepe.
not a
That's
pancake.
That's a crepe.
Crepe's different.
So when you see a stack of pancakes in that, how many pancakes should be in a stack? 3 or 800? How many pancakes
It's like when you
should be
see
in a
tortilla.
stack? Because you've seen a stack of pancakes before, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a Bible.
I went
right?
to
It looks
IHOP
like
with
three
Jack
things.
once.
What's that?
I went to IHOP
Oh,
with
yeah,
Jack
my
once.
God, that was forever
You went to
ago.
IHOP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that?
I had like a sliver of the giant mound of pancakes and I was done. Who can finish pancakes?
I'll take it. My 10-year-old kid can.
Yeah.
He can chow pancakes.
Jetty.
Nothing is better
Oh,
than
Jetty.
like
Jetty,
a
yeah.
plate of hotcakes with sausage from McDonald's. That's like the best morning breakfast ever.
No.
Full English.
It's so good.
I can think of a few things.
Yeah, I'm not a big breakfast person, but I really like oatmeal.
Really?
Really?
I could go for some oatmeal.
You act like that's a big revelation. Gus likes oatmeal.
Yeah, it is. Hello, did you see the reaction?
So the perfect meal would be you eating. Gus likes oatmeal. Gavin likes grapes. It's like we build the perfect Rooster
Hey,
Teeth dinner.
people like crepes.
People like.
I want that shirt. Let's make that happen.
We'll do a bundle.
Yeah. People like grapes. People like
On
crepes.
the back it says people like crepes.
Gus likes
No, it's,
oatmeal.
it's inside out. It's reversible.
Then you get like a Metal Gear Solid ones that people like crates, and then
Like it.
there you go.
No.
Where else can we go? Where's Barbara?
God.
Come on, Barbara.
Did you watch the thing that I did on Friday when I was on What's Trending with Kevin Smith and Lisa Kudrow?
No, I did not see that.
You should watch it because it's
I
pretty
thought it was
interesting.
interesting. She used the exact analogy you used for Twitter, like with Ashton Kutcher. I don't know if you were talking about that with her before.
No, not at all.
She used your exact example. And I was like, wow, you should do each other or something.
And she kept claiming she didn't know anything. I was like, you know exactly what you're talking about. Like she was talking about how House of Cards on Netflix is going to be a big game changer. And from now this is years ago, she used the example of Ashton Kutcher. Thank you. Having 2 million Twitter followers, but he had a movie that came out that like nobody went and saw. And I was like, I know exactly the movie you're talking about because I talked about it before. It's like she knows a ton about web
And she
stuff.
would always say that. She's like, I don't know anything about this. And then she would nail it and you'd be like, well, you know everything about that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it was interesting to.
She was funny.
So who is she playing in Ruby?
Oh no! Can we talk about the person we just signed on to Ruby? We have
I
a
don't
voice.
think so.
Wow.
We just released a second trailer for Ruby, the Weiss trailer,
The Weiss trailer.
which came out last
Miami Weiss.
Thursday, which is really awesome. So now we have 2 of them out there. And I think the feedback's been really,
if you're watching the stream, I think we got some art from it.
There's Weiss right there.
She's so white.
So I intentionally avoided watching this trailer until I think like the day before it came out. I watched it.
I like to watch everything finished for review.
And it wasn't finished by the time I watched it. There were still a few things that need to be corrected. But it's really cool to see it all come together.
It's very interesting. Like I think I need to start watching anime now and sort of understand this world.
Yeah, I thought what they did with the character was really clever and like framed it around the opera.
Oh, I don't like that statement.
What's that?
That you feel like you need to watch anime to understand this character.
Okay.
I feel like something like this should be able to stand on its own, and you have to feel compelled to watch other pieces of work in the same medium to understand it.
I guess so. Well, there's definitely tropes and stuff that exist in that kind of anime universe that you almost need to like know. I would imagine. I don't.
Yeah,
I
but you would feel like something like this should be strong enough to stand on its own and not have to rely on those tropes and a base understanding.
It is true. I mean, also it's the difference between what we're doing with Ruby and traditional anime is anime usually like 99.9% of it comes out of Eastern storytelling. And this is Western storytelling, so it's I think going to be a little bit more accessible for an anime style project for a lot of people. Yeah. That being said,
for the West as opposed to the East.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but Monty is obviously driving this particular project, and he's got the writing team, which primarily consists of Carrie and Miles, got them studying a lot of anime, because it's what Monty grew up watching too. So there's going to be stuff that just naturally influences what he wants to do.
No, I'm curious. Like, there's stuff I can't talk about that. Like, I had discussions with Carrie Miles about. It's like, okay, like bringing up some interesting points and some cool ideas. I'm like, all right, I'm actually interested in that and stuff. And I don't think I can talk about it right now, so I won't. But
I just want there to be a scene where there's a ton of people running down a wall in true Monty style. That's what he does.
Playing with gravity.
Yeah.
Man, I've been playing a lot of thanks to Carrie and Miles, they got me hooked on it. I've been playing a lot of Fire Emblem.
Oh, yeah.
Like I finally busted out my 3DS and played it.
Do you play with the 3D on?
No, I always turn it off.
Yeah.
What I love about it is this is like a brand new game. This is a big title for the 3DS, and the day it launched, you could buy it in their online store. I didn't go to the store.
Oh, that's cool.
I just bought it on my 3DS. I downloaded it, and then like in 10 minutes, I picked it up, started playing.
What are the odds that's going to happen on the next generation of consoles?
I really hope it does.
If they announce tomorrow, if the PS4 announces tomorrow and they say you can buy any launch or any title that's in retail for the same price digitally, I will buy everything.
Yeah, and that's like, and then so I went to go buy this in the eShop on my 3DS, and it's like, you don't have money in your wallet. I was like, oh, here we go. I'm gonna get fucked. I'm gonna have to put a bunch of money in my wallet to buy this game. And it's like, you can buy this many points, or you can buy exactly the amount you need to buy this title.
Cool.
It's like, absolutely, that's what I did.
That's cool.
And
I'm glad we're seeing more of that. I remember,
Halo 4 is not game on demand. That was kind of quiet.
Is it?
Really? That was kind of quiet.
How much is it?
Last week, $60.
I will absolutely buy that to not have to swap the fucking disc.
Yeah.
It's really kind of lame in a sense, but it's like I buy titles I know I'm going to play for a long time. I buy them as soon as they come out on games on demand, just because I know over time I'm eventually going to buy them because I either will break the disc or wear the disc or lose the disc or I won't have it available one day. So it's like I just like fuck it, I'm just going to get it right.
You're not
this goes back.
You buy a game just to not get up there.
That's what I was going to say. This goes back to my old. I wish the Xbox 360 had a 5-disc changer.
Yeah.
I will buy every game on demand I can, so I don't have to get up. So there are sometimes I'll be sitting there with my controller, be like, I want to play a game. I don't want to get up. What can I play?
What Xbox Live Arcade
I
games
have,
do I have?
Like, what can I reach?
How many Xboxes
that I
do
can
you
play?
have in your life, Gavin?
5.
Right. I'm exact same number. I have 5 Xboxes in my life. I would rather just do like a game like Halo 4 that I just want to pick up and play every now and then.
So here's my
home.
suggestion. You can install the game to the hard drive, right? To play that game on the hard drive, you need your Xbox just to check the disc.
Right.
Doesn't run it
Right.
in any way, just checks it.
Right.
Why can't you have tiny little discs? You just put it in the controller, check it, then play. You don't have to get up. It's already in your hand.
Why not just download it? That's the exact same thing.
Because people don't want to do that.
People kind of disc.
All right.
And then someone could give away the big disc and keep the little disc.
No, you'd only have little discs.
What if like?
But then this.
Why not just use the system that exists where you download it?
a whole new
Because they're not going to do that for new games.
What if they have like the PlayStation 4 where they have something where you can like link it to your thumbprint and then on the controller you can put your thumbprint to prove that it's you?
Because it's not 2060.
That would be awesome.
Why are you coming?
Why are you making fun of him? That's much more plausible.
We already have
to me.
That's true.
Let's invent a little disc that holds like 8 gigs of data. No, this big, optical, and then put it in your controller and then send that data across the room.
That's what we do now, but with a big disc.
Gavin, at what point in the argument did we ever say the disc is too big. Like, he wants to get up.
Because you have to get up and put it. You can't put a giant CD in your controller. It's ridiculous.
Can you imagine Gus straining with a fucking disc, and then if you had a littler one, that would be more convenient?
Plus, also, if you have the spinning thing, it's like a gyroscopic force in your controller.
It would never go sideways.
I like how you make fun of him for his implausible
Yeah, but
idea,
that already
and you're saying
exists.
something even more
The problem
implausible.
is they want you to have a physical thing, so you can't just pass it around. If
Yeah,
everyone
that's why the thumbprint. The thumbprint is unique to each
Or
human.
you
that's
have
dumb.
a gamer tag. You don't need a thumb. The gamer tag is like, theoretically, if they go back to dongles or whatever with your card,
I
then
still think my
that's your
thing's
count.
That's
smarter
true.
than the thumbprint.
Do you understand how hard it is to just invent like a new medium?
See here, look.
They do all the time,
wait,
the
here's a great
GameCube, the
example. Though.
PS
Here's a
what's
great
that tiny little
example of why
PlayStation?
having multiple platforms is a good thing. Why having multiple consoles is great, because it drives things forward. It makes people compete with one another for the services they're going to
That's
offer.
true.
And I think the reason why we're all going to get digital download games is because of Steam. And
Right.
everyone likes Steam so much. So I think that the console makers like Microsoft and Sony won't get as much pushback from the publishers because Steam is so successful. And they say, well, we got to keep up with Steam, so we got to have digital download.
But it can't go from one console with discs.
By the way, we're in the minority on this, just so you know.
There's someone. Sorry, someone was
What do
pointing
you-
out that there are laptops already that
I know.
have thumbprint
Thank-
identification.
Thanks,
so.
moron.
Yeah, but you can't buy your thumbprint at a store, is what I'm saying. They want you to have a
You
disc.
know, but you can buy it, and they can associate it with your thumbprint.
Oh yeah, they could do that.
God. All right, I'm done. Jesus Christ.
My point is that they want you to have the disc, but even if you can install the game, they want you to have the disc. So you can't just give your disc to all your friends and then 5 people have it.
But hey,
they want
listen,
you to keep the
We're in the minority, though. Do you realize this? We're in the minority on this.
because most people have one Xbox.
Oh, no, most people want discs.
Why?
Because they see the move to digital games as a way to kill used games. And for a lot of people,
Yeah.
the used
Yeah.
system is a way they budget for their games. And in fact, when Microsoft was talking, or had some rumor like 2 weeks ago, I'm going to ask Ashley about this. They were talking about how they were going to have, there was some kind of insinuation or something that the new Xbox was going to be all digital downloads, and isn't that great? And they did a poll, and 90% of the people in the poll said, no, we want physical discs. Because they saw it as Microsoft trying to kill
They just
the
need
used
to,
games market.
They need to Steve Jobs it. Steve Jobs would tell his customers what they want, and then they would want that. We just need to do
They'd be
it.
like,
and
yes,
then
What,
they'll-
yes,
what if
Steve.
you could sell digital games back to the store?
No,
And,
does that mean?
and there was like a third party market where you
How
could
about
like,
this? What if
generate
digital
a-
games were just cheaper because they didn't have to be
Well, no-
distributed?
no,
Yeah,
How about that?
Absolutely.
Now, what's going to happen is,
But then they'll make less money. The developers will make less.
yeah,
won't they?
I mean, we're
No,
seeing-
they could make
They could make
could
more,
make the
Because they're
same.
delivering directly to the customer without a publisher. Developers should theoretically make way more even just by selling it. Now, granted, publishers and retail stores might not like this, but I should not pay $60 for a digital game if I don't get all the stuff with it. It should be cheaper for less than the
that being said,
cost
like I
materials.
bought Fire Emblem on my 3DS. I paid the same price as a retail copy. I did not get an instruction manual or any other shit. There were some things where I was playing the game. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, nope, I don't know.
So, do they have like a website you can go to that like actually has the instruction manual or anything?
If they do, it's not. in
Because
the
like
game.
there's some albums you can buy like on iTunes, for example. You can buy an album and it'll actually have the album art
Yeah.
as a file you can then go through. So like it'll essentially be buying the album.
Mm-hmm.
And like even like if you buy movies on iTunes now, I've started buying a lot of movies on iTunes. They have the special features and stuff like a separate thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like having a DVD.
Yeah, I got Argo like that.
Yeah,
and
it's
it had
really
like
cool.
the extra features. You could,
Yeah, like
you
I
could
bought
have-
Looper like a week or two before it came out on a disc, which is like this is awesome. You know, like they're fully supporting that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And-
Wreck-It Ralph came out last week for
Yeah.
digital purchase, and the physical media doesn't come out till next month.
Yeah. So
So,
you can
it
actually
was like
buy
a
the
3 or
digital
4
copy.
week ahead of time. You could buy it and own the digital copy.
Yeah, I love that.
It seems like everything's going to move that direction.
And even like that, like on iTunes, like as long as I'm signed in, I can watch any movie I've purchased through iTunes on wherever, as long as I have
That's
Wi-Fi.
awesome.
device.
In my office, which I just vacated, thanks. I have an Apple TV hooked up to the
Yeah.
TV in my office, and I could stream any video I purchased through iTunes. So we would put like Toy Story 3 up, and everyone would cry.
Did you see on the new? God, that's such a sad movie. Fuck you. Did you see the newest update on Apple TV? You can actually any music you've purchased, you can now stream too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
What,
pretty
you couldn't
cool.
do that before?
No. You had to have an iTunes Match, which
Or
is like
I-
their service that you pay for. But they've just dropped. They haven't. I don't know if they've dropped that, but now you can.
You can also do that in the standalone iTunes client as well, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'm not
You
sure.
still need Match? Because like I know now in my iTunes catalog, I haven't tried playing any of them. There are songs I know I don't have on my computer that have like the cloud icon next to them.
They pop up. And movies do that too. So like if I log onto my computer at work, none of my movies are downloaded, but I can then hit that and it'll start watching it within like 30 seconds or whatever.
Do you think you'll be able to stream to your like iOS device, like your iPhone at some point, like stream iTunes videos?
I can already.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
You have to download them first.
I think you can watch it
I
as it's
stream YouTube
downloading.
videos to my iPhone.
No, this is like actually like movie you buy.
Let
on iTunes.
me see.
I
I've got my phone here.
YouTube. I can absolutely guarantee that I can stream
No,
movies.
no, I know
but,
you can do it on
your
iTunes.
iTunes stuff in the
I have a
iTunes ecosystem.
I have a Netflix app that I can do it.
No, I get that. I get that
saying
there are
yes.
services.
I'm saying yes. I can do
like
it on
with
everything
iTunes.
else.
That was the best example of not listening I've ever seen in my life. He's like, no, I'm saying this, and like, I'm going to ignore that, and then I'm going to say this. No, what I'm actually saying is this. I'm going to still ignore that. I'm going to say the exact same thing I just said.
I'll see.
It says downloading.
Okay, I'm downloading basketball to my phone right now.
Yeah,
So
then
I
you
bought
can
that.
watch it, but you can't just.
Oh,
like,
we
watch
shouldn't
it.
download that. We're going to kill our bandwidth.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Turn your Wi-Fi off.
How do I stop?
Shut it down.
What have I done?
We were talking about it earlier, though. There's a huge chunk of the population and a huge chunk of the video game population that they don't have broadband internet. So the whole idea of digital downloads to begin with, it's going to take like 3 hours or longer to download a game. It's just not a good option at all. So I can't see in this next generation going away from physical discs at all. Maybe in the one following it.
No, I'm not saying go away from physical discs entirely.
Give
I'm
you
not
an
saying
option.
that. I'm just saying that day one, Jack and I are like, we want to download our stuff digital day one. Day one.
Yep.
Like, we prefer that. But if people want to buy in discs, I'm fine with that. Let them buy in discs.
I wish you could do like Steam, where you could preload it, have it already, and
and
then
then
at
play it.
midnight when it launches, you download like.
That
the
always
50
seems like
gig.
magic to me.
Oh,
I don't know
wait, so
how
you can
that
actually
stuff
download
doesn't leak.
all the files
Yeah.
and then unlock it.
Yeah, so
Right.
that like when the game launches at midnight,
Isn't that dangerous? Can
you
people
download
hack
like
that?
the last like 50 kilobytes or whatever that unlocks
No, I'm with
everything.
Gavin. How does that not get hacked and leaked
There we go.
before?
Steve
I'm
Perry.
now watching basketball on my phone that I just purchased before, so it works already. But Brandon, whatever.
Make
your
sure you're
name
not on
is.
Wi-Fi.
I know. I'm turning it off now. I just
So you
wanted
can
to
do
see
it on
if it
Netflix
actually
too.
worked. Yeah. Killing Wi-Fi.
People are telling me, a lot of people on Twitter are saying they prefer hard copies.
They're all dumb.
They like collecting stuff though.
See,
For physical media for the bonus
this
feature.
guy just said to me on Twitter, what you guys always say about cloud storage. He goes, I'm a fan of hard copies just because I would rather have it in my hand in case something happened and it deletes all my stuff.
But that's like saying I'm going to go to the store and get Google Chrome and then put it on my computer.
Exactly right to me. I agree with you.
Well,
If you
my-
could-
my
this
fear-
was BB Moose 33 on Twitter said that.
My fear with this stuff is that the platform will go away, and then what happens to these things you've purchased? You don't have them.
Yeah.
That's what I worry about.
Yeah, it's the idea of ownership.
Right.
Physical versus digital is for a lot of people very confusing. I forget. I was doing a legal thing recently, and the lawyers, for confidentiality purposes, recommended that you keep all your email in an online account like Gmail or something like that because
What?
that's more secure than keeping it on a laptop. And I was
More
like,
secure as in you won't lose it.
Yeah. Well, I guess
you-
they're
or it
saying
won't be
because the
hacked.
laptop can get stolen and then
Yeah.
they can access it, but you can't lose an online account. I would never keep anything sensitive in an online account ever because to me it's like the laptop is safe in my house. An online account to me, security-wise, is available 24 hours a day for somebody to hack.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
exposed all the time. The laptop is only exposed if I fuck up, basically.
So would you say something you buy on iTunes? You don't really own it. You're kind of licensing it. You kind of like
guess,
I paid you this and I can access it whenever I want, but I still don't possess it because you
Right.
can't download it. You're constantly just like.
Well, you can download it. And
I guess like the only
yeah.
thing I ever do is Apple TV. Like I don't download it.
People are pointing out something good on Twitter, though, that I have to say. They're pointing out the fact that if you also get all your stuff in a digital library from a company, what happens when the company goes away?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
by,
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I'm sorry. I was in Twitter. Did you make that point? I apologize. So, but then a kid said here, he said Valve said there are measures in place to make sure that if they go out of business, you keep all your games. Don't believe that for a second.
Good
I
luck
mean,
with
if
that.
a company has measures in place, when they go out of business, those measures are
when
out of business
when the
too.
servers turn off, what happens to your shit?
It's like, oh, hey, just as an example, Valve went out of business. Sony, do you want to buy up Valve's back catalog of 1 billion games that they owe to all these people to download? It's like Sony would be like, fuck you. No. No, they can just come over and buy all their games from us going forward. I don't know who the hell would pick that up unless there's an ongoing subscription to do that. Who's
Right.
going to pick up this back
And
catalog?
we've seen subscription services die in the past. Like there were those early iTunes competitors where people would buy music and they just fold. Like I think there was one that Sony ran for a while.
Yeah.
That they just go away and you just lose your shit.
Could you then sue those people?
No, because in the terms of service.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet it is.
Yeah.
I didn't read them.
Yep, you didn't, but it's in there. You got fucked and you don't know it.
I would like to think that.
Will I get fucked?
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
He was saying Gabe Newell has said you'll still be able to play the games. I get that he said it. It's like, but you don't know what is it? I mean, it's like, yeah, sure. Gabe Newell said you'll be able to play it, but I mean, what is the thing they're going to do? Has anyone actually seen the policy and what they're going to do?
Are you
the
frustrated?
technology.
Are you frustrated that people aren't listening to what you're saying? They're
Just
just
a little bit.
replying.
Wait, everyone already has the
annoying.
local content. You just need to unlock that content.
Right,
So
but you need that network connectivity to activate it.
You also have to
they
authenticate it.
Yeah.
They just globally unlock everything.
What?
And
No,
then
you're saying when they go out of business, the last thing they do is like,
they just
Flick a
flip
switch.
the switch.
Like North Korea.
They
They
just
hit the
watch the
button.
world burn. Like, all right, everyone, free games for all. Woohoo! That's exactly what it's going to be like. By the way.
How big's your hard drive in your Xbox?
It's about 7 inches. Why?
Whoa.
In my on my what?
Your Xbox.
My Xbox.
Does your hard
I don't
drive
know,
fit the
750
inside
gigs?
of the bowl?
It's, I have an,
many-
I have
how
an
many
S.
games-
I have an Xbox S, whatever that
So
is.
that's
How many games can that
250, I
hold?
think, or
250?
120 or 250?
I don't know. 250.
Mine's
How many
320.
games can that hold? Sorry.
Typical game is like 6 to 7 gigs.
It's a disc, yeah.
why do I read the internet? What do
Just
I
stop.
do?
Get away.
Where is your laptop?
Why do I
Just
make
walk away.
myself mad? Why do I
Just
make
walk
myself
away.
mad? Bernie, hard copies equal editors do not get the money of resold copies. Editors do all the job. They should get all the profit of it.
What?
Editors. Okay, so how do you feel about like the $10 initiative that EA was doing, where like you buy a game like Madden, and when you buy it, you get a code that's like to play online.
As long as the editors are making money.
Yeah, as long as the editors. But then like
No, that's horseshit. If you're going to sell physical copies, everything's on the disc. That's it. I don't think you should have digital components.
if
that
you
are
buy
unlocked.
it new, you get access to it.
yeah. So here's the deal. So what they're doing is like for Madden,
No.
for example.
I don't think that's cool. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
it's protecting themselves. So okay, you buy a copy of
And
Madden.
I'm saying I don't think that's cool.
Why is that not?
Why not?
cool?
I think it's also protects themselves. They said that we're also going to disable the disc after a year. That's
Yeah, someone bought that, and that other person isn't still using the service.
Yeah.
You don't keep having more people sign into the service that have only bought the game. That have,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're not stating it eloquently, but I understand what you're saying.
So you're saying that reselling the game doesn't let you stack people in the online service, but if they can't run the game because they don't have the physical copy anymore, the game goes with it.
Right, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The game goes with it. Listen, I'm saying if you sell a physical copy,
But so what? I mean, this is one attempt to solve the problem of developers getting money on used
On resold games.
nope. Yeah, no, I disagree. I mean, I disagree. It's a problem. I think it's more of a problem with the price point of games. That games are $60. This is not a problem with any other physical media. If you buy a DVD, people can resell DVDs. I mean, it's not an issue. You know, the movie association doesn't cry to the end of time that movies are being resold, but they are. It's because games cost $60. That's why, and there's a market for selling them. And if games cost less, more people would just buy them. I wouldn't. If I could buy a used copy of the game for, I don't know who buys used copies of games. I get why people sell them back. I don't know who the fuck buys a used copy of game for $55 when the new one is $60.
Yeah.
It's just not worth the hassle for me. It's like when you go to a store, you go to Best Buy, you buy a product, it's $100, and the replacement plan is $20. It's like that's a fifth of the cost of the product. It's not worth the risk. It's 1/5. It's like if you made it 1/10 or 100th, everybody would pay for the additional service plan.
Yeah.
You know. But it's just like, I don't understand why people buy used games, but I know why people sell them back, and it's because these are high dollar items.
Yeah.
As the price of games drops, it won't matter. It really won't matter.
Do you see game prices dropping though anytime soon?
No, apparently not, because the digital versions are as much as the goddamn retail
Yeah.
versions. And that makes no sense.
Well, that's smart at the moment when they're both still around.
Why?
Because otherwise one would completely die immediately.
Well, no, I mean even so, like
Maybe one of them should die.
Well, don't forget,
I
the digital
agree.
versions often come out 4 months later. Isn't that enough?
well, even so, like Halo 4, you said it's $60 right now. I bet you could go to Best Buy and buy Halo 4 for $50.
Here's a better solution that I would do, okay?
Okay.
A used game is an after launch market, right?
Okay.
So they sell a ton of games, they sell a bunch of Madden at market. Why not put the digital version out a month later and it's $40 for the digital version? Costs nothing to deliver it. It doesn't include the retail companies, which are the ones doing the used sales. It's a cheaper version. Everyone downloads it. I sure as hell would get a downloaded version rather than a used copy at a retail store.
Yeah.
And if it's a lesser price.
Absolutely, but no retail store is then going to agree to buy the physical copy and launch
Yeah.
your game.
That's right. That's the problem we're dealing with now.
No.
So yeah, I think digital will erase the whole used games market and all the other stuff too. I mean, we get it.
Yeah,
and hopefully it'll lower the price of the games.
Yeah, and we'll see too. I mean, that's why we see GameStop now really pushing the DLC incentive, or not the pre-order incentives. I mean, like that's going to be GameStop's market from this point on, as opposed to the used game sales. Like used game sales will be around, but they're going to slowly degrade. And I think
it's
more.
two different markets. I mean, when you pre-order stuff, they get the money.
I see them shifting focus
yeah.
over to that kind of like sales, and that's what they're going to be pushing. But that's what I believe personally. So
I could see that.
Cool. Right here, you and me.
Yeah, I feel you.
Same team.
I got your back. Your strong back.
My strong back.
Just don't turn it on a dog.
It's a good idea.
I know how traveling.
You guys are gonna fucking use it, and you're not gonna tell me you used it at a spike.
They'll be like, Gus, why do you have all those bites on your back? I was working out.
doing some back lifts.
Is it because a mouth can't bite a back?
A mouse can bite a back.
Well, if it's a flat, there's no purchase.
Would you rather have a bite on your back or like right here, and then an afterward like thrust backwards?
Yeah.
Wait, well, how about right there or your leg? Like, I mean, like that's an unfair.
What are you gonna like charge it like this?
Sure, absolutely. If a dog's coming at me, I'm kicking at it.
Surely the heavy.
The dog will get past your leg. Have you not seen German shepherds attack?
But you're just okay. You said the throat. That's the furthest thing away from my throat is my foot.
Yeah, exactly right.
So I'm going.
It
to
will
be
go
pushing that at
past
it.
your foot and get to your throat
It's
very
like the smoke
easily.
monster from Lost. It's
Brandon,
like
you can make that argument about anything.
No, it's not going
You
to
get a
like
shield, it goes past the shield
it's
to
not
your
gonna,
throat
like,
immediately.
It's
You
not going
say
to
that.
boomerang around your back and then get to
Boomerang
your
around
throat.
your back.
yeah,
What?
it goes like up and then it's right there. It's right easy access from
So
your back.
you want to
It's
turn
way harder.
You want to turn your
No.
back to the animal that is attacking you, so you don't know where it is.
I'm not going to turn my back like 100 feet before I get to it. It's going to be like,
so you're gonna run
we're
and then
looking each
jump
other in
and
the
turn
eyes.
in the air?
We're looking each other in the eyes, and then
Right,
we
you're
both
saying
lunge.
you dodge. You're saying turn your back, but you would dodge.
You're
like
talking
this.
about, dodge would be great.
Yes.
But like, I'm just planning on like hitting it.
Hitting it.
Yeah.
You're tackling with your back?
Well, I'm trying.
You're
It's just
backling
like to it. It's just a brick wall. That's just gonna hit it in the face.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You never lower your eyes to an enemy. That's the key. You've got to keep your eye on the dog
Are we
at all
learning?
times.
Are we learning how to fight?
We're
from
not
the
learning
Ninja
jack
Turtles?
shit
You're
about
taking
anything
advice
at this
from a
point.
turtle.
Yeah, no, that's actually it was the
you know,
bald
it's a
Asian
mutant
guy
turtle.
who taught the Foot Clan.
A turtle is obviously going to say,
Turn your back. That's what it's got.
They got the most protected shell ever.
Yeah, why wouldn't a turtle want to take its eyes off something? That's like the main defense a turtle has.
So anyway, never lower your eyes to an enemy. Never lose sight of your enemy.
Have we
Don't
talked-
turn your back to him.
Have we talked about yet my favorite thing at the airport that I know drives Gus crazy? That I know, like, Gus, you were such a social
What?
maniac. That there's something at the Austin airport that I had to deal with today because I was traveling, and I know it must drive you insane. It's a really specific thing to the Austin airport.
Okay.
Okay. In Austin, when you go to park in the parking lot, you get a ticket and you go into the parking lot, okay? And then you go on your trip and you have fun and do whatever, and you deal with horrible people on the plane, which I have some people I want to talk about that will drive you crazy too. Then you come back. Then you take your magnetic stripe ticket, and you can go out through the toll plaza. And you have two choices when you go to the toll plaza.
I know where this is going now.
You can go to the booth that has a person in it, and you hand them the ticket, and they swipe it, and they say $60 for your parking for a week. And you say, okay, here's $60. They say thank you, and you drive away. Or the automated lines, where you go, and it's just a box with a slit. You insert your ticket. It says insert ticket. Step 2, insert credit card. Drive away. So you insert ticket, tells you how much you owe. Put a credit card in. Get the credit card back. Gate goes up, and you drive away. You would definitely use the automated one because there's no people.
I use it every time.
The problem is in the Austin airport, and I don't know why, they pay people to stand next to the automated kiosks. Have you seen this? These people, and they wear orange vests, and they sit there and they go, and you pull up and you get your ticket, they go, put it in the slot. You go, I know. And you put it in the slot, and they go, now put your credit card. You say, dude, I fucking know. I understand how this works. Who the fuck are you? Why are you standing out here? That must drive you crazy.
It drives me crazy. And ancillary to this, the other thing that drives me crazy is when I go to, it seems like Best Buy is the worst store about this. And they're like, all right, what's your reward zone number? All right, click correct on the thing. I know. Okay. Approve the total. I know. Okay, swipe your card. It's telling me. I'm doing it. You're watching me. All right, sign your name. I fucking know. I've done this before. It's like every step they have to tell you. It's like, I can fucking read. I am obviously engaged with the machine and doing what it's telling me Why are you repeating this
It's
information?
like the dudes in the bathrooms.
Why the city of Austin, though? Why'd they make the automated lanes if they're
It's got to
gonna have
be like a
pay
union
some-
thing, right? Like,
I would
oh,
assume.
these machines are going to put us out of a job. Now we have to do something else.
And these people, I was going to take a picture of one of them today, but I couldn't find a way to do it at the airport. That wouldn't.
I don't.
Oh, by the way, guess who got busted going through TSA security with a fucking giant fake beard in his carry-on luggage? This guy. Because I was carrying the Jack fake beard.
What, you're not allowed to take beards on flights?
Apparently it looks weird if you're carrying a disguise. So that was embarrassing. I explained why I have a fake beard. I go, oh, I know this jackass guy who has a fucking big beard, and I like to make fun of him by wearing my beard.
So
What's your
You're in LA anyway.
I don't know. I found it in my luggage. I guess I had it, and I made Ashley wear it for a photo.
when I flew back from Minecon, I was connecting, I flew from Paris to Chicago to Austin. Connecting in Chicago, I was like really jet lagged and tired, and you have to get off the plane, then you have to like go through security again because you're in domestic soil now. So I was going through security, and I'd forgotten I'd put a water bottle in my backpack. I go to security, and they pull my bag. Like, is this your bag, sir? Like, yeah. They pull the water bottle out, and I'm like, I'm so embarrassed. I travel all the time. I know better than doing that. And then we went to go do the Nerdist bowling thing. Like the next day, I went to LA. I was telling Joel this story as we're going through security in LAX. I was like, yeah, I don't know what happened yesterday. I was like really out of it. I went to security with a water bottle in my bag. And then as we're going through security, TSA pulls my bag out. They're like, is this your bag, sir? Yeah. Water bottle. Like 2 days in a row, 2 different trips, fucking water bottle both times. I was so fucking embarrassed both times. Yeah. I almost didn't get on the plane. I was like, I'm done. I'll just leave.
Yep, I'll just go home.
I had a moment when I was traveling this time where I had the QR code ticket on my iPhone, and it wouldn't read it. I was standing at the gate with everyone behind me because we boarded in that first group, and she's like, it just won't scan. It just won't scan. And luckily, I had my paper ticket in my pocket, and I just pulled it out and scanned it. But I felt like enough of a jackass that I felt like I was trying to use a technology that
Was there
wasn't
someone
quite there.
there telling you to scan it?
Well, yeah, no, that was the gate agent.
It's at the gate, yeah. So with this same trip in LA, when I was with Joel, telling him this story
That,
about.
by the way, that would have killed Gus on the spot. He would have died and just been buried right
So
there.
when I was telling Joel this story about my water bottle, the guy in front of us at the line is trying to get into the security checkpoint, and they're trying to check his boarding pass. He's trying to use that QR code on his phone, and it's not scanning. He's going through the same thing, and he starts turning super red. He's like, I don't know what happened. I'm zoomed in. It's not working. He's like, let me try to download it. He's like trying to like download it. He's like, it's not working. It's not downloading. He's like freaking out. The agent had to like pull him aside and like let him stand there.
If I could snap on a big long rubber glove. Because you know all the early adopters are all tech nerd guys who are just like, when the thing doesn't work, they freak out.
I can't have my superiority complex.
Well, you're so deep in at that point. It's like putting a load of stuff through a checkout and then realizing you've got no wallet.
Yeah. Or no, you have your wallet, just the money looks different. It's like,
You've got a load of
Get Canadian
Euros.
coins for some reason.
yeah, it's like, no, really, this is good.
But
No, my PayPal
you were so
account.
right, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like that moment of like, yep, it didn't work, And I'm a person who's like, for little stuff like that doesn't really matter, I trust the cloud stuff, like with game saves and things like that. I love it. But yeah, when it doesn't work, you're just kind of left there hanging.
And airports are already so like kind of heightened and nervous anyway, just because you're, I don't know. Airports are weird, like pressure cookers for some reason.
Do you put all your tiny little bottles in the plastic bags?
I don't travel with any liquids.
You know what?
Not any liquids. What, deodorant?
Deodorant's not a liquid. dude.
Toothpaste?
Toothpaste, not a liquid.
It counts.
No,
You can't
like your liquid gels.
Actually, I don't take toothpaste. I just buy it when I get there.
Do you really?
Every single time you buy toothpaste.
No.
But anyway, the plastic bag stuff, you don't even need that.
You don't. You
All of my stuff is always loose. I've probably traveled, it's like, inside of my bag is a loose thing of like toothpaste and hair crap and deodorant and stuff.
Well, you just throw your like toiletries in your bag.
Yeah, they're just loose in there.
Where's your toothbrush?
In my bag.
You, like wrap it in your underwear?
No, it's in like a little thing.
Okay.
But it's never been taken, except when I went to Australia and they took every single piece of thing that I had.
That they did.
So
it
in
was
Australia,
gone.
have it in a bag, but everywhere else is
One
fine.
time,
I
when
have a toiletry kit. You don't have like a little kit that you can zip everything up in?
Yeah.
That's work for Gavin.
No, I
He's
just-
not gonna like that.
So what do you do? Like when you pack, do you just go to your bathroom, grab your stuff, and then go back to your bedroom and throw it in your suitcase?
No, it's already in there. It's already in that bag.
So you have stuff that's just for travel?
Yeah.
I also have that too, but then I have the little case that holds everything, like a little, it's called a DOP kit.
I have a case. It's this big and it goes in my bag.
What does that mean?
It's his backpack. He's being a smart ass.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
One time when I went through
That's a
security.
gross way to do it, by the way. You're disgusting.
Why?
Yeah, you are disgusting.
You are.
How
I
is
went
disgusting?
through security. I was flying from Melbourne to Adelaide, I get to the Melbourne airport. We're flying like Virgin Blue, which is like a super budget airline. And I get to security in the Melbourne airport. I get to the metal detector and all that line, and there's no one there. Like, there's no line. I'm like, oh, cool. And I realize there's no security there either. I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. So, like, I get my bag, I put it on the thing, and I walk through the metal detector, and I look around, no one. I'm like, all right, cool. I just grab my bag, and
It's all running, like the conveyor's going.
Jesus
I have no idea what the deal is. So, like, anybody could have walked through.
And you still got on the plane?
Yeah, and I just walked on, got on the plane. I was like, all
Good
right,
God.
I guess it was good.
That's the one place you do want someone to tell you exactly what to do, even though you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Nothing will make you disbelieve in airline security more than going to a small airport somewhere in the world where it's just like
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Or like the alarm went off, but it's like, that wasn't that loud. You know, go ahead.
Or the metal detector's here, but there's just a big gap next to it.
Yeah, like some of those smaller airports, like when I lived in Quincy, Illinois for a short amount of time, the Quincy airport was just like one dude who was like running everything. It's like, oh yeah, just go through. Okay, yeah, like from like 40 feet away, he watches me go through the metal detector.
Buddy, you dropped your knife.
yeah.
One time at LAX, you know, when you come out of LAX, you come out of the gate, you go downstairs, you take that long walkway. I'm talking about Terminal 4, American Airlines. You come out through that revolving door to get to baggage claim. There's that TSA agent there to make sure no one goes back.
True.
I've seen that TSA agent asleep so many times.
Oh, really?
Like a third of the time I go through there.
You gotta take a
that
photo of
TSA
that.
agent's just like this, just like passed out, asleep. I'm like, awesome, this is really great security. Terminal 4, if anybody is curious.
There was a games conference, a law in games conference where I did a keynote speech at just a few weeks ago. And it was weird because it was in Dallas. And I had to travel to LA for something else right afterwards. So I actually flew to Dallas. And for the first time ever, Gus, I got off at Dallas.
Weird.
Yeah. It's weird because we would either just drive to Dallas or like connect through Dallas Airport. But actually, it was weird because I was like, I've been to Dallas so many times. The rental car place is like 5 miles away from the airport. I didn't understand. I've been to DFW so many times. I just never gotten off as a destination passenger there. The worst part about it was there was a revolving door that let you out. And I don't know why it was like this, but it wasn't clear which way to push the revolving door. And I guess so that people wouldn't come all the way through back around again, this part of the circle had like that rubber mat like from old grocery store doors that open up.
Yeah.
And that was alarm triggered. And so just stepping to the left, 1 foot to the left, while getting into the revolving door, I stepped on this thing and the loudest fucking end of the world alarm went off and people came running over and they go, oh, you stepped the wrong direction. And they go, happens all the time, like every day, like 15 times. I'm like, this is the stupidest
sign up.
fucking system I've ever seen in my life. Just by literally stepping into the door, the right place, but stepping a little bit to the left, I set off this enormous alarm.
There's nobody at security. They're all waiting for people to go through that.
Well, the lady who was right there, the TSA agent was right on the other side of the revolving door.
You woke her up.
She starts freaking out, like, this way, that way, all this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't want to die, please. I'm so sorry.
All right, we have to wrap up here.
I got to tell this lady, though, on the plane.
All right, you got to hurry.
Drove me apeshit. So she was on one of the planes I was on. She was obviously a first-time flyer, had never flown before. She was one of the last people who gets on. She's like in group 14 to board the plane. They tell you when you're boarding, saying, look, there's no more overhead space. If you see an overhead bin that's empty somewhere along the way, just put your bag in it. Otherwise, you got to check your bag there. So she gets to her row, and her overhead bin is filled, just like everybody knew it was going to be, because the flight attendant was saying it over the PA system the entire time. And the flight attendant goes, oh, there's no room for your bag. We're going to have to check it. Just give it to me. I'll check it. I'll give you a claim tech. And the lady goes, no, I don't want to check my bag. She says, I don't want to check my bag. She goes, well, there's no overhead space left. You're the last person aboard the plane. You can't do it. And she goes, no, this is my seat. This is my bin. Whose bags are these? She starts calling out to the plane.
Oh, my God.
She starts going to the entire plane. No, whose bags are these, right? Whose bag is this gray bag? Whose is it? This is my seat. This is my overhead bin. And everyone's like, lady, that's not the way it works. And they couldn't calm this person down.
There are 3 people sitting in that same row.
Yeah, and passengers are. It's like there's no
God.
solidarity. Everyone's like,
support.
on your own, lady. you're on your own.
It's just like the beginning of Hunger Games where they call out names.
Nope. It's exactly that same thing.
So did they check her bag?
Yeah, she checked her bag and she was fucking pissed because somebody stole her overhead bin space.
Check in earlier. Get on the fucking plane earlier.
Bitch.
That's just a tax for not flying that often that you run into that
Yeah.
stuff. That's just what happens.
Okay, if we're wrapping up, we got to show Joe the cat at least one more time, right? It's
No,
his
we
retirement party.
So we're moving the pod.
Wow.
we're moving the podcast. Starting next week, the live stream will be on Monday instead of Tuesday. The audio will come out on Tuesday instead of Wednesday, and the animated adventure will continue to come out on Wednesday. So podcast will be shifted one day earlier.
May I ask why? Because I know a lot of people are going to ask why.
It seemed like, based on feedback, that people wanted that one day earlier.
Okay.
So it just makes things easier.
Cool.
So we're going to do it. It's going to make things a little difficult for us down the road when Red vs. Blue starts launching on Mondays, but that's our problem. We'll deal with that.
We'll deal with
it.
So
our poor website.
Did you read about the guy who ate nothing but monkey pellets?
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah, so he was trying to make like
Bachelor Chow.
Bachelor Chow, like just some like from Futurama.
And so he started thinking like, Gavin, this is what you do. I don't want to eat anymore, he said. I just want to eat like basic food unit.
Like a dog.
Like a layout. Like,
I get that.
Because eating's boring.
Human chow is what he wanted. Just like I eat the same thing every day. So he found these things they feed to gorillas in captivity, which is just like monkey chow, monkey pellets.
Yeah.
So he'd eat bowls of these monkey pellets. And he kept a vlog diary of this. And by the fourth day, he had lost his mind.
Was he just flinging shit everywhere?
No, he was talking about how it's like, he's talking about how he's like, I smelled, I walked by a bakery and I smelled baking bread, and I wanted to go in the bakery, eat all the bread, and kill every person in there. And he goes, so just know that when you go to the zoo and you have a hot dog in your hand, the monkey behind the bars wants to go through the bars, eat the hot dog, kill you, rip you open, take pieces of hot dog out of your stomach, and eat those too. And that's the only thing keeping
That's what
you
monkeys
alive.
do. That's what chimps do when they escape. They just take people's genitals. They just run at them, grab the bollocks, and run off.
Well, you
with
got to
it,
turn your back to them.
And
that's the key.
Then you're fine.
Yeah, don't hit them with your back.
They'll take your back genitals.
We should wrap up because I am going to piss my pants.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to wrap up.
Oh, I told you that! Mentalist!
There we go. Well, there's one more thing we can talk about, because you talked about Virgin Blue.
Oh, Virgin America coming to Austin?
No, yeah, we had a very funny Twitter conversation.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Explain what happened then.
Okay.
Gavin, go pee. Go disconnect your mic. Go pee.
No.
He's going to press on that. Let me go. You're going to make me urinate. So you guys were talking about flying, and you were talking about how your frequent flyer miles, whatever, because you're with American Airlines.
So Gus wrote, just for no reason, Gus makes a tweet that was, hey, at Virgin America, thanks for coming to Austin in May. I can't wait for you to come, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was like, it sounded like almost like you were paid to make that tweet or something. And I just wrote, I was like, shut up, get a room, you two. And I wrote back, and then you replied back to me something and included Virgin America in it. And then I said, I started including my American Airlines stuff. I started CCing American Airlines on it. And Gus and I were having this argument about Virgin America and American on Twitter. Then American Airlines showed up in the middle of the conversation and started saying, hey, thanks, Burnie. Can't wait to see you on another flight. And I was like, God, Gus, you got to be so embarrassed by now. By all this. And then Virgin America started tweeting to Gus saying, come join our freaking flyer mob. It was like the weirdest, like...
They were fighting over you.
Yeah, these brands like showed up in the middle of it. It's just like the weirdest thing.
I love the internet for stuff like
social
that.
media.
It was definitely weird. It was definitely weird.
Yeah.
So Gavin, go pee.
Hey, we're done?
So with that, we're wrapping up. So,
Stop!
Thanks for joining, everyone.
Joe.
And we'll see you guys next
Thank you for
week.
years of service, Joe.
We'll see you guys next week on Monday.
Gavin is running away. Joe the cat. Bye, Joe the cat.
Joe the cat.
Kyle, you should point the camera at Joe the cat. Look at him go.
Whoa!